It's Friday, March 20th.
This is so unnecessary. It's a heartbreak for a family.
We are learning more about a head-on collision that killed a 52-year-old woman Wednesday evening. Ottawa police say the crash was caused by an alleged impaired driver. Renewed calls for the federal government to make a decision on the direct official of the Prime Minister's residence.
Those Nordic countries, they have a style of living, they're happy.
And they say you can't buy happiness, but something is costing Canadians theirs. We'll tell you what's caused our slide in the World Happiness Index. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now. Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. Thanks for joining us on CTV, Your Morning Ottawa. I'm Will Aiello. Rosie is off today. Melissa is off. They have earned some very well-timed off, so it's me, it's you, it's Friday for the next 3 hours for as long as you join us over the next little while. We're going to be speaking with Avery Haynes a little bit later on with W5's recent story. We got a local artist creating throughout the show today. We're talking about new homes on the market. It is a jam-packed show. Lots to get to. Let's start with our news headlines on this Friday and first day of spring. New details are emerging about a head-on collision in Ottawa's West End that killed a 52-year-old woman. Ottawa police say the crash was caused by an alleged impaired driver.
The officers on scene suspected that the driver had alcohol in their body. They made a roadside demand, and that driver failed the roadside and therefore was arrested.
The crash happened on Carling Avenue near Moody Wednesday evening. Police have charged 31-year-old Vicente Ramos with impaired operation of a vehicle causing death and dangerous operation causing death. Ottawa police say in the first 2 months of the year, 139 drivers have been charged with impaired driving offenses. The City of Ottawa is ramping up the possibility test bus lanes on Bank Street in the Glebe neighborhood. The move comes as the city explores ways to improve transit in the busy corridor. If the pilot project goes ahead, it would see bus-only lanes northbound on Bank Street between Homewood Avenue and Pretoria during the morning rush, and a bus-only lane southbound on Bank Street between Powell Avenue and Homewood Avenue into the afternoon.
Get rid of the cars because it's all drive-through traffic. And we need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, functioning bus lanes.
I see buses going up and down Bank Street all day, every day. Double-decker buses, elongated buses with nobody on them.
The report will be presented to a city committee at the end of the month where councillors will debate the idea. Heritage Ottawa is calling on the federal government to make a decision on the future of 24 Sussex. No Prime Minister has lived at the official residence since 2015. The NCC estimated that it would cost at least $36 million to restore the building to good condition and says it has presented options for the future of 24 Sussex to the government and is awaiting a decision. Heritage Ottawa says it would like the property to remain the official residence of the Prime Minister. Canada and 6 other allies have jointly condemned Iran for trying to block the Strait of Hormuz, and they say that they are ready to help make sure that the waterway is safe for transporting oil. The statement signed by the leaders of Canada, the UK, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Japan say, quote, "We express our readiness to contribute to appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the strait." It does not detail how the countries plan to make that contribution. The Japanese Prime Minister paid a visit to the White House as Donald Trump was questioned about why he didn't tell Japan and other allies about the plans to attack Iran.
One thing you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor?
Trump also said he expects Japan to step up in supporting the war on Iran. It's the latest blow to the confidence of small business owners as gas prices continue to rise. A new report shows many are starting to feel the strain. Overall costs in the conflict in the Middle East and the rapid price jumps in fuel continue to eat into owners' profits. The CFIB report shows nearly 6 in 10 small businesses are concerned about rising energy costs, and when costs go up, something's got to give.
As cost of transportation goes up, that means the cost of the input product is eventually passed down to the small business owner, who can only absorb it for so long until they themselves have to pass it down to their customers.
Higher operation costs for small businesses are also being offset by holding off on hiring and delaying investments. The study goes on to say Canada's small businesses aren't collapsing, but they are bracing for a tougher road ahead. And here's a look at today's gas prices here in Ottawa. According to Canadians for Affordable Energy, gas is at $1.71.9 per litre here in the capital. Every year in Canada, millions of birds die by crashing into the glass on the outside of buildings. And now that spring is right here, right on the corner of Safe Wings, Ottawa wants you to know how you can help prevent this.
There are easy solutions. Putting markers on windows, using the windows judiciously, closing your curtains at night, not having your plants right up against the curtains. So everybody can help out. Even if they just treat one window where they know birds have hit, they can help save a bunch of lives, which is going to be good for the environment and the earth.
In the capital, they estimate 250,000 birds are lost every year to collisions. Many believe high-rises are to blame, but 99% of crashes involve low-rise buildings and residential homes. Safe Wings Ottawa has been holding this annual event for more than a decade. And in sports, the Ottawa Senators' playoff push continued last night at home against the New York Islanders. It was tied at 2 late in the third.
Rings it around for Spitz. Jordan Spitz. Long wrist shot. Bounces back in front on the rack. Kachuk scores. Brady Kachuk taps it home.
Yeah, baby. Captain Brady Kachuk scored with 11 seconds left to give the Sens the 3-2 win. Next up is a date with Toronto at the CTC Saturday evening. Puck drop is slated for 7 p.m. Nice to get another win back in the column. Still a few points back off from that playoff spot. 14 games remain. We got to chase a couple of teams. Hopefully they can have some losses. We're hoping for losses for them and some wins for us. Now today, officially our first day of spring as we approach the next couple of hours. But Mother Nature saying it is not going to feel like it. We actually have a special weather statement in effect as we could potentially see maybe 5 to 7 centimeters really quickly starting this morning, continuing into the afternoon window. So not feeling like spring whatsoever. Melissa was letting us know, though, throughout the week that it wasn't going to feel like spring. So throughout all of Ottawa, continuing all the way down to the GTA, we have this weather advisory. So road conditions will be impacted throughout the day today, potentially cruising through the day tomorrow. Right now, though, quite calm in the forecast. Temperatures really not too below seasonal. That's typically what we've seen over the last little while. But that snowfall will be arriving shortly, which we'll get to. Temperatures -5 in Ottawa, -6 in Pembroke. Kingston a little bit warmer at -2. Brockville at -2 as well. So the snowfall, it will start to begin in the next few hours. Right now, just some cloudy skies. We start to see that system moving in the next few hours, continuing to really affect our commute home today, maybe our commute to work, depending on when that system starts to enter through the capital region. So right now, we're starting to see that snowfall in northeastern Ontario, bringing that heavy snowfall. Wind speeds could be picking up slightly, but it's just the heavy amount of snowfall we're seeing during a small duration period that has caused a weather advisory to come into place. So over the next couple of hours, we start to see it come in. It sweeps by this evening. But then as we approach the weekend, Saturday, a little bit calmer, maybe a chance for some mixed precipitation. Then as we arrive into Sunday, another blast of past winter will be in the forecast, potentially bringing another 2 to 5 centimeters of some snowfall. So it's not just today. We get a little break tomorrow and then more snowfall on the way for Sunday. So spring, not feeling like it whatsoever. Here's what we could see as we approach into Saturday evening with total amounts expected at this time. So Pembroke just under 10, really close to that in Ottawa and Montreal. So expect about 5 to maybe 15 centimeters, we'll say, from today, continuing till the end of Sunday. So snowfall is just continuing on over the next couple of days. As we've stated, today is going to be the first day of spring, but it's going to look more like this. But to make you feel a little bit better, we'll show you typically what spring is supposed to look like this time of year. Although we are in Ottawa, we know that we see snowfall well into the beginning parts of spring. 10:46, officially starting to see that green in our minds, but we'll continue to see the white stuff on the grounds. Temperatures today right at that freezing mark in Ottawa, a little bit beneath it in Pembroke and Kemptville and Cornwall. Wind chill not as much of a factor today. The wind speeds are around 5 to maybe 15 kilometers an hour, so nothing really to stress out about. Petawawa -1 as well as Trumbull right at that freezing mark. Over the next week, what we can look forward to is Saturday temperatures warm up to 5 degrees. We'll see that beautiful return of some sunshine. As we head into Sunday, a chance for some mixed precipitation. So we started to see a little bit more snowfall Saturday night going through the day on Sunday. Most of that will be some snow, but as the temperatures start to warm up, that's when it could get a little bit messy. And then next week, at least we're above that freezing mark with our daytime high values, but still not going to be abnormally warm as we head into that first official week of spring.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
And as we take a look at your roads on this Friday morning, the snowfall has not begun yet, so everything is smooth sailing. As the system starts to move through, we could start to see some delays. We will be sure to pass anything along right here for your Friday morning commute. Now let's take a look at TSN's must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for it, we are off to Ottawa, where the Senators were hosting the Islanders. Thomas Chabot, alone in the slot, gets Ilya Sorokin to bite on the fake. Thinks he's got an easy goal until Carson Soucy slides in, makes the kick save on the goal line. My goodness, an amazing play by the defender to deny a sure goal lands him the must-see moment. And coming up today on TSN, the first round of March Madness continues. Our coverage of both the men's and women's tournaments gets underway at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
Luckily, he'll still be able to get some sleep because Ottawa did come out with the W at the end of the game. Well, still to come on Your Morning Ottawa.
Those Nordic countries, they have a style of living. They're happy.
They say you can't buy happiness, but something is costing Canadians theirs. The latest happiness report has this country taking a significant slide in the rankings. We'll have those details coming up. Let's take a peek for the first time through our Centennial Glass sky cam. Calm for now, snowfall on the way, a few hours away from our brand new season. Happy Friday, everybody. It is 6:11. We will be right back.
Far side pass, and it's an early shot. He scores!
Lured by lies of fast cash.
What did you think was in the bag?
Trapping young Canadians.
She's a 19-year-old girl.
As unsuspecting drug mules.
People pay a lot of money for cocaine.
W5 goes deep inside Hong Kong.
There are 4 Canadians in prison right now.
To uncover a crime syndicate.
She wants us to expose these people.
Hunting for traffickers.
They just asked me to find people for them.
Here at home, W5's Avery Haynes investigates. Saturday at 7 on CTV and Crave.
Welcome back. Happy Friday, everybody. Here are some of the top stories we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. New details are emerging about a fatal head-on collision in the West End. Police now say the crash was caused by an alleged impaired driver. The City of Ottawa is considering adding bus-only lanes on Bank Street. Councillors will debate the idea, which aims to improve transit on the busy corridor. Heritage Ottawa is calling on the federal government to make a decision on the future of 24 Sussex. The last Prime Minister to live there was Stephen Harper, and the residence now just sits empty, needing major repairs. Let's take a look at your first day of spring in the hours to come. And it is not going to feel like a special weather statement in effect. That's because we could see heavy snowfall within a few hours, starting at around 10 a.m., continuing into the afternoon. On the flip side, temperatures at least not too cold this morning. Wind chill values will be low. We caught up to -1, but we could see about 5 to 7 centimeters today. But that's not the only snowfall we're seeing as we enter spring. Sunday brings another blast. Full details on that coming up. Let's take a look at your roads on your Friday morning commute. And nothing major to report at this time. Snowfall hasn't started quite yet. If we see any delays continuing on over the next few hours, we will be sure to pass it along. All right, we are dropping in this one. We used to be ranked 5th in the world, but over the years, Canada's place on the World Happiness Report has continued to slide. We are now in 25th place. CTV's Peter Sperling tells us a little bit why.
Fun with family outside, a recipe for happiness.
It makes me happy that I get to skate with my grandma.
10-year-old Baron choosing skating over screen time.
It's really fun that I get to go outside and I'm not staying inside playing video games because it gets boring after a while.
Researchers are looking at whether heavy social media use among youth is impacting well-being as Canada's ranking on the World Happiness Report continues to decline.
So the reason why we see Canada and North America more generally slip down the ranking is in fact mostly driven by the drop in youth well-being.
Canada slipped to 25th place after coming in 18th last year. finishing behind the 23rd ranked United States.
And this is also the focus of this year's report, where we look into the role that social media might be playing in that decline.
It's 10 hours and 10 minutes.
Trina Chu, an Algonquin College student, says she spends more than 10 hours a day on average on her phone and says it does impact her happiness.
I tend to doom scroll too, to kind of boost up my serotonin and my dopamine.
It's something experts at CHEO are also noticing.
Before screens ever came along, people seemed to be happier and people connected with that which they really needed.
But if Canada's in 25th place for happiness, who is in first?
So I'm from Finland, and we're the first in the world.
The report finds Finland is the happiest country in the world.
There are more saunas in Finland than cars. I think the foundation of our happiness is built on strong social systems, but also on the culture of well-being.
A ranking not surprising for some.
Those Nordic countries, they have a style of living, they're happy.
Finland, oh, I could see that too. But yeah, I don't know. I think we should have been a lot higher.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
So as we just saw in that report, Canada's happiness ranking has plummeted from 5th happiest in the world in 2014 to 25th here in 2026. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from News Talk 580 CFRA on the Morning Rush. And Bill, what's going on? Our happiness is just leaving us day after day.
Well, you know, it's been 10 years that it's plummeted, so Justin Trudeau has to be the answer. It can only be Justin Trudeau. Made us all unhappy.
How did I know you were going to say that?
No, clearly it's not that. You know, I think this is kind of interesting that the early analysis of this is that it has to do with social media. So I thought, all right, well, a lot of people have access to social media. And I do believe the more time you spend on social media, the less happy you are. It's a pathway straight to hell. So I thought, okay, maybe in our climate, we have really good access to social media here because we're a fairly wealthy country, and we have a bad climate, so we stay home. But, well, how do you explain Finland? They are just as cold as we are. So I guess we have to buy a sauna is the difference, and hang out in a hot, sweaty room all day long. I really don't have the answer to this. I'm not sure I totally believe it, that our country has gone from 5th to 25th. But I do have another theory about this, too, and that is that the more time you have living in luxury and self-reflecting, the less happy most people seem to be. And that doesn't mean you have to be bogged down and work all the time. But I think maybe in Canada, unlike the Finns, we don't have enough hobbies. We're not active enough. Because if you sit around and start to think about your life, I think most people go into a darker place than go into a lighter place. So, you know, it's a combination of put down the social media, get out, have a little fun. And this past winter has not made it easier. If this winter lasts another week, we'll be down to 50th place in the world.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially with what we've seen lately. And you made a great point, because getting outside, you know, heading to the sauna or enjoying the water, whatever you might do, has such a positive impact on your mindset. And it is amazing if you can make, you know, we can go for a walk, or you can just doom scroll. And I'm sure that you've been accustomed to that too, where you take some moments away from the social media, especially in our world, and you head outside or look at the water, and it can completely change your day.
Yeah, and time passes too quickly when you're scrolling, doesn't it? And you say, what happened to my day and what did I get done? It's sometimes you have to take a moment to just breathe in the time and enjoy yourself. But it won't be today, because it's another miserable day.
Nope.
The Sens won last night and didn't get any closer to a playoff spot. I'm giving up all hope.
Yeah, you're giving up hope, but I'm praising our hope, because the Sens finally, Bill, can be ahead of the Leafs, and it feels good. So I'm going to bump us up to 24th just based on that alone.
Wow. You've set the bar pretty low for yourself there, Will.
Just give me a win on this Friday.
Maybe that's the answer. Expectations lower, more happiness.
And joyful continues to rise. Hey, Bill, regardless of that, have a positive, happy Friday.
Have a good weekend.
And remember, you can listen to the Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 till 10 a.m. Stay with us. We will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, and of course, happy Friday. Today, in your comments, we are asking all of our viewers, what is your favorite car? This could be a car that you've owned in the past. It could be a car that you hope to have in the future. Or it could be a car maybe that you know you're never going to get, but maybe you could win it in a lottery or some way. We want to know, what is that favorite car that you've had or desire? Email us, yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. And we are asking that question because we have artist Vincent here, and he's going to be continuing to have a beautiful art form throughout the show. We'll be checking in with him. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning. How's it going?
It's doing so good. Tell me a little bit about what you do as an artist, because you're kind of creating a picture here throughout the show. So what do you really do?
So my slogan is motion is the medium. And that is, so cars, the automotive industry, the whole car community and that culture, I'm trying to transform it through the art and bring it together and capture different ideas, stories, intentions, that kind of thing.
So I love this slogan. Let me ask you, how many slogans did you come up with? Right? Oh no, that's the one.
I probably went through at least 100.
Yeah, until you found the right one.
I found the right one, yeah.
Are there specific vehicles that really speak to you where you come up with your creativity to do what you do?
I think it depends on the idea behind the piece. Like this one, because I'm incorporating Parliament into it, when I see Parliament, I think of heritage. So that's why I chose to go with the gull wing, because it's a very iconic, there's a lot of heritage to it and history.
Yeah, and how did you even get involved with this from the get-go? Because it's such a niche thing that you're doing, and I haven't seen something quite like this. So how did that even journey start for you?
The journey started with my appreciation for art and always drawing as a kid and just being very crafty. And then as I grew and found a passion for cars, I merged the two together and then went from there.
Amazing. Well, you're going to be creating this throughout the morning today, and I'm going to save the question of what's your favorite car for a little bit later on, because we'll get the details from the pro himself. We'll be checking in with Vincent and this beautiful work of art throughout the show on your Friday show today. Our question is, what is your favorite car? Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Maybe send a picture as well. We'll have some fun on your Friday show. Happy final few hours of winter. But even as we enter spring, it's still going to feel like winter. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back. Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. Thanks for joining me this morning. I'm Will Aiello on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Rosie and Melissa are off today, so it's you and me for the next 2.5 hours. And Melissa took the day off, but what she didn't mention was that today is our final few hours of winter. But as we head into our brand new season, it's still going to feel like winter, not just today, but even as we get to Sunday with more snowfall on the way. So I'm giving you the early heads up now before we head into the full weather forecast. But for now, we'll start with our news headlines on your Friday morning. A man is now facing impaired driving charges following a fatal crash in Ottawa's West End Wednesday evening. A 52-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the scene at the collision on Carling near Moody Drive. 31-year-old Vicente Ramos has been charged with impaired operation of a vehicle causing death and dangerous operation causing death. The president of the Ottawa chapter of Mothers Against Drunk Driving continues to share their message, but they wishing that they didn't have to.
The officers on scene suspected that the driver had alcohol in their body. They made a roadside demand, and that driver failed the roadside and therefore was arrested.
Ottawa police say in the first 2 months of the year, 139 drivers have been charged with impaired driving offenses. The City of Ottawa is ramping up to possibly test bus-only lanes on Bank Street in the Glebe neighborhood. The move comes as the city explores ways to improve transit in the busy corridor. If the pilot project goes forward, it would see bus-only lanes in northbound on Bank Street between Homewood Avenue and Pretoria during the morning rush, and a bus-only lane southbound on Bank Street between Powell Avenue and Homewood Avenue into the afternoon.
We would really like to see those bus lanes improved and ultimately expanded into Centretown. We really think, considering the transit crisis right now in Ottawa, that bus lanes are really, really a great way to speed up transit and to reduce costs.
The report will be presented to a city committee at the end of the month, where councillors will debate the idea. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has wrapped up his visit south of the border, which did include an appearance on one of the most popular podcasts in the world.
So there's a narrative in America, and the narrative is that you were about to win and your party was about to win, But then Trump came along and said he was going to turn Canada into the 51st state, and everybody went crazy. Is that accurate?
I wouldn't say they went crazy. So we're never going to be the 51st state. And I just wish he'd knock that off.
Poilievre's appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience lasted for more than 2 hours. It averages about 11 million listeners per episode, and Poilievre used the platform to advocate for tariff-free trade between Canada and the U.S. He had previously been invited to appear on the podcast during the last year's federal election, but he declined. Canada and 6 other countries have said that they are ready to help secure the Strait of Hormuz as the war in the Middle East drives up oil prices and threatens the world economy.
This war has really gone from a short, sharp Venezuelan in and out to it could be this decade's version of a quagmire for the United States.
The statement signed by Canada and allies reads in part, "We express our readiness to contribute to appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the strait." However, it doesn't detail how they plan to make that contribution. There's ongoing concerns that the closure could further impact the global supply chain. Heritage Ottawa is calling on the federal government to make a decision on the future of 24 Sussex. No prime minister has lived at the official residence since 2015. The NCC estimates that it would cost at least $36 million to restore the building to good condition and says it has presented options for the future of 24 Sussex to the government and is awaiting a decision. Heritage Ottawa says it would like the property to remain the official residence of the prime minister. There's an oven recall in Canada with a warning to immediately stop using it if you have one. The recall is for these specific Frigidaire gas ranges you see here. This is all because of an increased burn risk. At least 1 person has been hurt in Canada and 30 people in the U.S. have reported injuries. The company said the affected gas ranges can, quote, experience a delayed ignition over the oven's bake burner. You can find more details on our website, ctvnews.ca. The Laugh for the Cure fundraiser is less than a week away, where local business leaders and community members raise their hands at stand-up comedy, all to raise money for the Ottawa Cancer Foundation. Pure Country's Gord St. Dennis will be performing, and he's been practicing some of his jokes on the colleagues ahead of the big night.
What kind of overalls does Super Mario wear? Denim, denim, denim. Okay, see you later, Mike.
That was our director, Mike Pang, leaving. He clearly did not like the joke. I actually thought that one was pretty good. But as you can see, he still has a little bit of work to do on his routine. The event will be held at the Westin Hotel on March 26th. Gord has a goal of raising $10,000, and you can make donations on the Ottawa Cancer Foundation's website and support the one, the only Gord. He is taking it with him, and he is going to make as many people laugh as much as possible, but he does have a few jokes that he needs to work on. All right, let's take a look at the forecast. We've kind of been talking about it throughout the week as we transition from winter going into spring, but it's still going to feel like winter as we head into spring with a special weather statement in effect. Before we get to that, let's take a look at what we can expect over the next little while. This morning, snowfall. Then this afternoon, more snow. And the weekend, even more snow. We did put a little sad face there because I think that the majority of people here in Ottawa are ready to be done with the snowfall and ready for spring to officially rise, but a true spring, not feeling like winter. So weather advisory in effect. The reason that's in place by Environment Canada is because we could see heavy snowfall between about 9 a.m. this morning and about 3 p.m. Snowfall amounts about 5 to 10 centimeters throughout the day today, but then a little bit more on the way Sunday, which we'll get to. So temperatures right now, not too bad. -2 in Trenton and Kingston, Ottawa at -5, as well as Montreal. Cloudy skies currently. Over the next couple of hours, it will start to change, and that's when we will see some precipitation in the forecast. Because we're going to be a little bit cooler right now, it is going to be primarily snow. As we get to the end of the weekend, we could see a messy mix as we get to the end of the weekend. Snowfall will begin over the next couple of hours, continuing through the day on Friday, really affecting our commute home as we'll start to see that buildup. It does clear by the evening window, and Saturday maybe a chance just for some small precipitation, maybe a little bit of rain and snowfall mixed in there. But then as we get to the end of the evening and head into Sunday, we have more on the way, bringing a potential another 2 to maybe 5 centimeters. Wind speeds are expected to pick up on Sunday as well. Not too bad over the next 24 hours, but snowfall not done with us yet. So how much are we really going to see here in the capital and across the area? Pembroke just under 10, as well as Ottawa and Montreal. A little bit less as we get to Trenton, maybe just 1 centimeter. Brockville just over 5. So really depending on where you are, we're seeing very different total amounts of the snow accumulation over the next couple of days. But we are continuing to see at least 10 centimeters over the next 48 hours here in Ottawa. So just mentally prepare for that. As we head into the next Saturday and Sunday, maybe a few more on the way. So a little bit more snowfall as we get to Sunday, trickling into the beginning portions of next week. As we take a look at spring, doesn't that look so beautiful? This is not what it's going to look like at all, though, on our first official day. It begins in the next couple of hours, 10:46 officially, but I don't think we'll really start thinking about it until early next week because those temperatures are still going to be below seasonal over the next little while. Regional forecast, today's daytime highs, Pembroke right underneath that freezing mark, right at it in Ottawa, Cornwall -1, Brockville above it at 1 degree, Petawawa and Gatineau just under it, so a little bit cooler through your daytime high for what we typically see this time of year. Over the next week, Saturday, the bright sunshine returns, 5 degrees. This is what we typically want to see this time of year. As we approach Sunday, this is where we could see that mixed precipitation, temperatures hovering above that freezing mark or just beneath it. That's where we could see a little bit of snowfall, maybe some rain mixed in there, so it could be impacting our road conditions. As we roll through next week, looking a little bit cloudy at this time. Temperatures on the day side, not too cool, but still a little bit colder overnight. So spring will be here, but it won't feel like it.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
And as we take a look at your roads on your Friday morning commute, still nothing major to report, and we're just before we get that peak rush hour starting to cool through. So as of right now, everything is smooth sailing on your roads.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
And still to come on Your Morning Ottawa.
They were really pushing me and, yes, frightening me into thinking that something devastating would happen.
Police in Ontario say that they are concerned about aggressive door-to-door contractors. We will bring you one woman's story coming up a little bit later on. We'll take a peek outside. Nothing happening right now. Few hours left of our season before we enter spring, but a special weather statement in effect as more snowfall is on the way. Just don't you love to hear that on a Friday? Stay with us. It's 6:40. We'll be right back.
This is your United Way Minute.
Second Stage Housing Program is a transitional housing program at Lanark County Interval House that aims to support women for up to 18 months after leaving an abusive situation.
From day one, felt accepted, felt heard and validated within my concerns, within my family situation and the abuse that I was enduring. My son and I entered the program with 2 suitcases, one for him, one for me. Having access to safety, security, and affordable housing really made a huge difference for me.
The United Way allows the Second Stage Housing Program to be present in Lanark County. This allows women and children to get a stepping stone to their future, and without the United Way, we wouldn't have that for them.
The mental focus that I put towards healing myself in this program was huge. I'm mentally stronger moving forward for sure.
Help provide safety, security, and a bright future for families in rural communities. Donate today at unitedwayeo.ca or call 613-228-6700.
Welcome back. Happy Friday, everybody. Here are some of the top stories we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. New details are emerging about a fatal head-on collision in the West End. Police now say the crash was caused by an alleged impaired driver. The City of Ottawa is considering adding bus-only lanes on Bank Street. Councillors will debate the idea, which aims to improve transit on the busy corridor. Heritage Ottawa is calling on the federal government to make a decision on the future of 24 Sussex. The last Prime Minister to live there was Stephen Harper, and the residence is now empty, needing some major repairs. Few hours left of winter as we enter into spring, but it'll still feel like winter as those temperatures and a special weather statement remain in effect. We could see 5 to 10 centimeters through the day today. The good news, tomorrow looks beautiful. Sunshine returns, 5 degrees, but Mother Nature says we're not done with winter yet. On Sunday, we could see another 2 to 5 centimeters of some snowfall. I'll break it all down into the full forecast coming up. Let's take a look at your roads on your Friday morning commute. Still smooth sailing at this point, nothing major to report. As we start to see that precipitation enter through Ottawa, we might start to see some delays out in your roads, but we will be sure to pass along any information along the way. So scammers typically go door to door in the spring trying to convince residents that their home needs some repairs or renovations. But there were so many cases of fraud over the winter months that police in Ontario are now issuing warnings about aggressive contractors. CTV's Pat Foran reports.
Colleen McMichael says contractors came to her door and offered a free roof inspection. They claimed her home was in such poor shape, her roof was about to collapse. She spent almost $50,000 on shoddy repairs.
They were really pushing me and, yes, frightening me into thinking that something devastating would happen to the roof and to my house if I didn't take care of it.
Someone also knocked on Leslie Bentley's door offering a free inspection. He claimed her roof was in terrible shape and about to cave in. The scammer charged her $7,000 and tried to get her to pay $27,000 more.
I think I started to cry. I was really upset.
Hamilton police issued a warning saying be careful if someone unexpectedly knocks on your door.
If it's a real good contractor, they're going to be booked up during this part of the year especially. So if they just happen to be in your area and they want to help you out with your house, be wary of that.
Warning signs of renovation scams include unsolicited door-to-door offers, sudden price increases once work begins, high-pressure sales tactics, unmarked vehicles and mismatched company names, and poor quality rushed unfinished work. In the roofing scam, the contractor may actually wreck your roof to convince you it needs repairs.
They'll come down and show you pictures of what you're actually dealing with, and they deceive you. They make you think that that's how your home actually is, but they've actually caused the damage, and they're the ones that want the work.
To protect yourself from scams, get multiple estimates, research the company, avoid large upfront payments, don't pay in full until the job is completed, get a written contract, and take your time. Police say as the warm weather arrives, they expect driveway paving scams will begin. Fraudsters may use cheap materials, do a poor job, and then leave debris behind for the homeowners to deal with. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Scams are getting out of control. Always just make sure that you're doing what you can to be as safe as possible. Well, the Ottawa Home and Garden Show is on this weekend, and there's a charitable component this year to talk about. Melissa caught up with Chio just to find out a little bit more.
The Ottawa Home and Garden Show is running from today right through to the 22nd at the EY Centre. And joining me this morning is Emily Jamieson from Chio Foundation. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, first of all, let's talk how Chio is participating at the Home and Garden Show this weekend.
Absolutely. So this is our second year participating, and we have a big purple tent and a whole family corner.
Okay.
So if you have your kiddos, come on over. We have activities. We're giving away lots of swag. And we're also talking about our Kids These Days campaign.
Okay, and why is it important for Chio Foundation to be part of this event?
Well, first of all, it's the community.
Yeah.
And we're very integrated with the community. We also want to share a message about kids these days. And while you might be coming out to the Home and Garden Show to improve your house, we're renovating our campus right now.
I know.
So we want to share a little bit of that news with the community, but also have some fun too.
Okay, and tell us, how are things going with the campaign?
Well, if you drive down Smythe, you'll see our building's almost complete. So that's one of the capstone projects, the Integrated Treatment Center. From a fundraising standpoint, you know, we still need support from the community. We're raising $220 million in support of the hospital. So we really need the community to come out and support us as well. And at the Home and Garden Show, wonderful partner. We're selling bears that will be fundraising for Chio, and also plants. So spring's right around the corner, I think.
Fingers crossed, I know, even though it doesn't look like it.
No, but it is coming. So just come on out, learn more about our campaign. And if you've got kiddos, we've got lots of activities for them.
And you mentioned bears. Now we want to know, will the Chio Bear be there as well?
Chio Bear is going to be there for photos. So if you come on down all weekend long, Chio Bear will be present and just, you know, cheering on the community and really talking about our Kids These Days campaign.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much, Emily, for joining us
thanks
today.
For having us.
You're welcome.
That's
and again,
great.
you can visit Chio at the Home and Garden Show happening this weekend at the EY Centre. It runs from today right through till Sunday, so you can head online for more information.
Artist and designer Vincent Mate is working on a custom piece with a cool car theme for us throughout the show. He will be revealing the unique piece for us a little bit later on this morning. He's been hard at work. I think he got here before our show started. We'll be checking in with him periodically throughout our program for today. And also, so our theme today is car themed, and this is what some of our colleagues like to provide us with. So we're asking you what your favorite car is. And apparently, towards Adam Zucala, one of our camera operators, he believes that this is my favorite car. I am almost I'm going to say 85% sure that this is from Mario Kart or from some sort of karting activity with just the most pleasurable face that you could possibly have of me. So Adam, thank you. This is not my favorite car, but maybe it is now. So we are asking for your comments today on what is your favorite vehicle. This could be one that you've had in the past, one that you dream about for the future. And here's what you had to say. We're kicking it off with Darlene. Oh, we're just getting right to it. My Mustang. Darlene, a wonderful choice. We got to know, what year is that Mustang? Send us a follow-up email just so we are aware. Richard says, my favorite car is the old Citroën French car from 1972. Oh, that's actually the Mustang that we have from Darlene sent in there. Beautiful. Now let's head over to Richard's car, who says that that's his favorite from 1972. That is an absolute classic. We love getting these car pictures in, and I know that so many people have different tastes on what they enjoy. Let's head over to Stephen, who says, well, Mustangs are a hot topic today. My 1967 Mustang by far. I think many people with you, especially apparently on our show, Stephen, share that with you. So that's our conversation today. We were asking, what is your favorite car? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca and send a picture as well. We want to get a picture to go along with that. Still to come on Your Morning Ottawa, we are getting a first look at the newest Spider-Man movie. We'll show you the trailer just after this. Stay with us. It is our final few hours of winter, but it's still going to feel like it. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, and happy Friday. It is time for your morning fix, and I think many people are very excited about our first one today. We are getting a first look at the upcoming Spider-Man movie.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other.
So the movie is called Spider-Man Brand New Day. It picks up 4 years after the events of the previous film called No Way Home. It hits the big screen on July 31st of this year. I mean, I'm the classic Tobey Maguire fan, William Dafoe back in the day, but Tom Holland has done a fantastic job, and I know so many people have loved his portrayal of Spider-Man. And I mean, come on, you got the Punisher in here as well. I think this is going to be a fantastic movie. Many people are very excited to it to be officially released. All right, the hottest toy trend of the last year is getting set to take over the silver screen. Sony Pictures confirming it's greenlit a movie based on the popular Labubu plush toys. A script is still in the works, but the movie is set to be a mix of CGI and live action. The toys, with their monstrous but cute appearance, have become a global sensation. I know that they are a hot topic among so many people. They love their Labubus. We'll see if this comes to fruition. I love the fact that they're doing the combination as well, CGI and some live action. I think that'll be a very interesting one to come. And following the death of Ontario's beloved forecasting groundhog, Wyerton Willie animal rights activists are hoping to bury the practice of using live animals for the traditional winter predictions.
Such as 3D holographic projections, an animatronic groundhog, or any other alternative that doesn't involve taking yet another live groundhog out of their natural environment.
So for more than 7 decades, Willie has emerged from his slumber with either good or bad news. Of course, multiple groundhogs played the role. PETA wants an end to what it calls the cruel tradition of transitioning to more ethical options. However, the town says Willie brings joy towards the community, and they'll be looking for a new protagonist over the years to come. Now, this is going to be a hot topic over the next little while. Do you like that? Do you think that we should step away from using the animals? We should have a different traditional way? Or do you think it brings the town together? That's a good question. Maybe we'll ask you a little bit later on. Let's take a peek outside, because we are going to actually take a look at our artist first to see how he's doing there. Vincent is going away with a beautiful themed car portrayal, but he's going to have a focus on Ottawa. He's giving me a little bit of some quick hints, some sneak peeks of what he'll be creating with us. We will check in with Vincent throughout the program here on Friday. I cannot wait to see what he comes up with. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It's Friday, March 20th.
This is so unnecessary. It's a heartbreak for a family.
We are learning more about a head-on collision that killed a 52-year-old woman Wednesday evening. Ottawa police say the crash was caused by an alleged impaired driver. Renewed calls for the federal government to make a decision on the derelict official Prime Minister's residence. And the shocking story of a Canadian teenager facing life in prison abroad. CTV's W5 tells us more about their latest investigation. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. Thanks for joining us here on CTV, Your Morning Ottawa. I'm Will Aiello. Rosie and Melissa are off today, so it's you and me for the next couple of hours, just after the newscast and some weather reports about winter really not going away, even though we enter spring. We're going to be speaking with Avery Haynes about the W5 investigation, and you do not want to miss that interview. For now, though, let's get towards our news headlines on this Friday morning. New details are emerging about a head-on collision in Ottawa's West End that killed a 52-year-old woman. Ottawa police say the crash was caused by an alleged impaired driver.
The officers on scene suspected that the driver had alcohol in her body. They made a roadside demand, and that driver failed the roadside and therefore was arrested.
The crash happened on Carling Avenue near Moody Wednesday night. Police have charged 31-year-old Vicente Ramos with impaired operation of a vehicle causing death and dangerous operation causing death. Ottawa police say in the first 2 months of the year, 139 drivers have been charged with impaired driving offenses. The City of Ottawa is ramping up the possibility of test bus-only lanes on Bank Street in the Glebe neighborhood. The move comes as the city explores ways to improve transit in the busy corridor. If the pilot project goes forward, it would see bus-only lanes northbound on Bank Street between Homewood Avenue and Pretoria during the morning rush, and a bus-only lane southbound on Bank Street. That's between Powell Avenue and Homewood Avenue into the afternoon.
Get rid of the cars because it's all drive-through traffic, and we need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, functioning bus lanes.
I see buses going up and down Bank Street all day, every day, double-decker buses, elongated buses with nobody on them.
The report will be presented to a city committee at the end of the month. That is where councillors will debate the idea. Heritage Ottawa is calling on the federal government to make a decision on the future of 24 Sussex. No prime minister has lived at the official residence since 2015. The NCC estimates that it would cost at least $36 million to restore the building to good condition, and says it has presented options for the future of 24 Sussex to the government and is just awaiting a decision. Heritage Ottawa says it would like the property to remain the official residence of the prime minister. Canada and 6 other allies have jointly condemned Iran for trying to block the Strait of Hormuz, and they say that they are ready to help make sure that the waterway is safe for transporting oil. The statement signed by the leaders of Canada, the UK, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Japan says, "We express our readiness to contribute to appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the strait." It does not detail how the countries plan to make that contribution. The Japanese Prime Minister paid a visit to the White House as U.S. President Donald Trump has questioned about why he didn't tell Japan and the other allies about plans to attack Iran.
One thing you don't want to signal too much, you know, when we go in, we went in very hard and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor?
Trump also said he expects Japan to step up in supporting the war on Iran. They say everything is bigger in Texas, but apparently that doesn't apply to the outfits at a major rodeo.
It was disgusting.
Wait, you said you saw?
Yeah.
What have you seen here? Some of the things that you think you shouldn't have
Stuff that
seen?
should have been hanging out, that shouldn't have been hanging out, that should have been covered up, that I'm a woman and I was looking.
Following multiple complaints, the Houston Rodeo is saddling up a strict new dress code that will target so-called inappropriate attire. In a statement, the rodeo says it has the right to deny admission or remove guests who don't comply. All right, let's take a look at our weather picture of the day. This is sent in from Connie, Chipmunk in the Snow. This was obviously not what this little chippy was expecting, and I think many of us may be starting to expect it now. but we don't want it. We want that snowfall gone, I think, at this point. March break officially coming to an end, so the ski hills are very happy, but I think people are ready for it to be done, but thanks for sending that in.
Weather Picture, brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, we want to hear from you. Send us those weather pictures. You can just email us, weathershots@ctv.ca, and we will be sure to share that with our viewers. All right, so you saw Chippy hanging around in the snowfall there. Can we expect more of those photos to come? I think that is definitely what's going to happen. Taking a look at what's expected through Ottawa today, weather advisory in effect. We could see 5 to 10 centimeters continuing on over the next couple of hours into your Friday afternoon. So the weather alert is in there because you could see heavy snowfall, about 2 to 3 centimeters per hour. So just be extra cautious from about 10 a.m. today, continuing into the afternoon. Let's take a look at our almanac through the day today. So today we are right at that average we typically see this time of year. Nowhere near the record. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? A nice 25.5 degrees. Oh, just more than a decade ago. Sunrise at 7:05 and that sun sets at 7:15. Right now, temperatures not too cool. -5 in Ottawa, Montreal at -4, Cornwall at -3, Brockville sitting at -2. Let's take a look at that system starting to move through. Just a little bit cloudy right now, but as you can see, the snowfall is moving into Ottawa in the greater area. We could expect maybe 5 to 10 centimeters, so it'll continue to be heavy throughout the midday point. This evening, though, it starts to clear up. Maybe a little bit of trickling snow overnight through the day on Saturday, but a lot of sunshine will be had with temperatures rising. But then Mother Nature says, winter, come back into the forecast through Sunday. Another blast of some snowfall, a little bit less. We could see maybe 2 to 5 centimeters. But looking at the model coming forward and based on how it moves through Ottawa, we could see a little bit more. So I'm just preparing you as we get through today, and Saturday looks oh so nice. Don't be surprised if winter comes back into effect on Sunday and we have some more shoveling to do. Here's a look at how much snowfall we could see just into tomorrow. So just under 10 centimeters expected again. A little bit more, a little bit less, a lot less into Trenton where we're seeing more rainfall in the forecast. The more north we go, the more snowfall that we'll see. Saturday says goodbye, Sunday says hello, and so does the snowfall. A few more centimeters. This is just until Sunday morning. As it continues through the day, we still could see a little bit more. So projections 5 to 15 centimeters from this point, moving until we get to Monday morning. So that snowfall is going to continue to be here to stay. Oh, this would be so nice, wouldn't it? Spring looking like this today? Not going to look like that whatsoever. Officially, spring opens at 10:46, but winter says not today. We're still getting our time in there. Here's a look at our daytime high values. So right at that freezing mark in Ottawa, a little bit beneath into Cornwall and Pembroke, Bancroft, just above at 2 degrees. So really different temperatures across the board, but primarily with the overnight lows tonight. Taking a look at Tremblant, right at that freezing mark. Many people still enjoying the March break with the ski hills being open and with more snowfall on the way this weekend. Still looking very good for that. Over the next several days, so I want to hyper-focus on Saturday, okay? I know we've had a couple of gloomy days. Spring is here. Snowfall go away. Saturday at least looks really nice, but don't get used to it. As we approach Sunday, it still could get a little bit messy. We are seeing primarily snowfall in the forecast, but we could see mixed precipitation on Sunday. 2 will be the daytime high. And then next week, really nothing crazy to talk about. Just going to be a little bit gloomy with those temperatures not quite where we want them to be for this time of year.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
Taking a look at your roads at this hour, still nothing major to report. That snowfall beginning in the next couple of hours or so, so nothing changing your routes. If anything changes throughout the next couple of hours, I'll be sure to pass it along. A Canadian teenager is facing life in prison in Hong Kong after being arrested with a staggering 25 kilos of cocaine in her luggage.
Always remember, everything is monitored. This conversation is being monitored.
I have 30 seconds left.
If you plead guilty, they will give you a lesser charge.
I'm pleading not guilty, Mom.
Okay.
I don't know how they can put me in jail, Mom. Okay, all right, time's up.
Love you. Love you, baby. Bye.
I love you.
But a new documentary from W5's Avery Haynes suggests that she may have been tricked by a crime syndicate targeting Canadians online through friend groups. Avery's documentary, Cocaine Suitcases, airs this Saturday at 7 p.m. on CTV. She joins us live from Toronto. Good morning to you, Avery.
Good morning, Will.
I have to ask you first, so the beginning of the story began with a young woman. What can you tell us about how this all started?
So that's who you heard calling her parents from jail in Hong Kong to southwestern Ontario, where she's from. 19 years old, she had just graduated from college, was working as a security guard at a homeless shelter. And she goes on Instagram and she sees a story for a job posting for an international courier. And she responds to that job posting, and within 3 weeks of inquiring about it, she finds herself in jail in Hong Kong with, as you say, this staggering 25 kilos of cocaine in her suitcase. We were able to go through her entire Instagram chat to show how she was groomed from that first response in believing that this was actually a legitimate job to ending up in jail.
Yeah, this is a wild story, and you actually traveled to Hong Kong. You spoke with Jade, and once you were there, you realized that this story was much larger than it seemed.
Yeah, we thought when we went that this is a story of one girl who got tricked. And when we got to Hong Kong, because of contacts that I have from previous work that I've done there on similar stories, we realized that she was one of 4 Canadians behind bars in Hong Kong. And I had a chance to talk to all 4 of them. And what we realized is that this was not 4 isolated cases. All of these 4 were connected to a larger criminal network that's run by this shadowy figure who only speaks to them through encrypted messaging, who goes by punctuation. They call him Dot because he just uses a period as his social media handle. And so we were able to connect the dots between all 4 of those cases to see that they had all been lured in by the same network.
This story just has so many different levels towards it. What have you been able to uncover about this network that you were just talking about?
Well, the thing is that the head of the network is very good at keeping himself immune from us unmasking him. So we've not been able to unmask him. We do know that English is not his first language. Some of the Canadians in jail say that he speaks Russian. Some say that he speaks Chinese, but definitely that English is not his first language. There is a possibility that there could be a number of people in this network calling themselves Dot, but luring them in almost all with the same playbook. So either through social media or through friend groups. 2 of the young people who are in jail are from the same area in southwestern Ontario. And we know from speaking to people who were about to make a delivery for this network, believing it was something else, that there are many young people, dozens and dozens, possibly up to 40, who have made this trip and not been caught. And they're sharing on social media photos of them in Hong Kong, the free trip that they got. So it's kind of self-perpetuating that they think that this is legitimate and this is safe. But the one thing is that all 4 of those that I spoke to behind bars gave me the name of the Canadians who they say recruited them, the local people who recruited them. So I tracked them all down, and that's part of our documentary on Saturday night.
And you know, Avery, you've been there, you're going behind the scenes, you're providing us with all these details. What do you believe is the fate of these 4 Canadians that are in Hong Kong right now?
Well, what I know is that the penalty is life in prison. The one good thing for them is they weren't sent to any of the neighboring countries because, you know, in China, for example, many of the countries around there, it's the death penalty. In Hong Kong, if you can prove your innocence, if you can prove that you did not know that there were drugs in your bag, there is the possibility of being found not guilty. All of those Canadians face a really big gamble because if they plead not guilty and they're found guilty, their sentence goes up even more. So they've got to be able to prove that they didn't know, which is a difficult task. But the saving grace for them is that they were sent to Hong Kong, where there is no death penalty for drug smuggling.
We will all be keeping our eyes peeled for that story tomorrow. Avery, I know how busy you are, so I really thank you for joining us today, providing us with some details of what we can expect tomorrow.
Thanks so much, Will.
And if you want to watch W5's Avery Haynes Investigates the Cocaine Suitcases, it's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on CTV as well as Crave. And coming up, it is World Storytelling Day. What better way to celebrate than to discuss a storytelling initiative that actually creates space for people to share their personal mental health journeys. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge, nice and cozy before we have that discussion. Let's head outside, throw our Centennial Gas Sky Cam, and spring's here, is it? Doesn't feel like it. Temperatures at least not so bad, but special weather statement in effect. More snowfall on the way. A little tease for you. Maybe 15 centimeters over the next 72 hours. Details coming up. Stay with us. Happy Friday. Welcome back, everybody. Here's some of the top stories that are happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. As we take a look at the stories that are happening, first of all, we do have many things to report throughout the day today. We do have some top stories talking about the weather. We have a special weather statement in effect for the greater Ottawa area. We could see up to 15 centimeters of snow over the next little while. In the Glebe neighborhood, we are looking at having bus-only lanes to just differentiate and take a little bit of ease off your morning and afternoon commute. And the Prime Minister's residence, 24 Sussex, has not been lived in since Prime Minister Stephen Harper. We'll talk about that Friday. And -7 degrees this morning, and some snowfall will continue to fall. Special weather statement in effect. We could see about 5 to 10 centimeters through the day today. Maybe a little bit more on Sunday. Temperatures not too cool, but how long will it last as we hold on to our final hours of winter? Full details on that coming up. Let's take a look at the roads on your Friday morning commute. Still nothing major to report. Everything smooth sailing before all that snowfall enters through the region. The Ottawa Home and Garden Show is underway today right through the weekend at the AY Centre. Melissa had a chance to visit some of the vendors that you can meet at this year's event.
We are learning more about your roof this morning with Roof Revival. We have Didier Sevigny. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melissa.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your company, Roof Revival.
So Roof Revival was born in regards, there was no really option between replacing asphalt shingle or repairing it. So what we do right in the middle. So we will be adding extra life to the asphalt shingle by applying the lost oil that the shingle has experienced over the years. So usually after 5-10 years, the shingle will become dry and brittle. So when it comes at that point, between 8 to 18 years old, we're going to spray back the shingle. We're going to give back the flexibility. And yeah, it's just saving a lot of money to homeowners.
And tell us about the environmental impact as well.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Because we're saving the asphalt shingle 5 to 15 years, what's happening, the landfill gets reduced by the amount of waste of asphalt shingle that it's getting in there. Because just one house is 2 to 5 tons of asphalt shingle. So if we're able to delay the replacement, it's a lot less asphalt shingle to the landfill.
So this is just such a great option. Instead of replacing, you can just help revive it, like you mentioned.
That's exactly, and it's very, very economical versus a full replacement.
Yeah, and tell us about the testing that goes involved.
So yeah, it has been tested by an independent testing facility, ASTM approved facility in the United States, and it has come with the conclusion that it extends the life of the shingle, it's slowing the aging from 8 times, reducing the flame spread, and restoring back the flexibility that the shingle had when it was brand new.
Okay, and if someone does have to replace the roof, that could be done as well.
Yeah, of course. If the shingle comes at the point that it's toast and that cannot be rejuvenated, then we will recommend replacement options.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. And again, you can find Didier here at the Ottawa Home and Garden Show.
Haley Heckman is the executive director of Unsinkable, a national storytelling organization founded by Olympic champion Silken Lohman. Today, she helps lead storytelling initiatives across Canada that create space for people to share their stories and realize that they're not alone. She joins us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I think it's so wonderful to have you on, and it's so powerful and meaningful to have these conversations. And I'd love to start by, from your point of view, how incredible and how impactful it can be when you open up to somebody else about what you're going through and how that can impact that person.
Yeah, so really everything that we do at Unsinkable and everything that we focus on when it comes to personal storytelling is this value of our lived experience. The things that we've been through have so much meaning, and we have an opportunity as individuals who've struggled through challenges, who have overcome different scenarios in our life, to be able to inspire someone else who may be just 1 step or 2 steps behind us. So really seeing ourselves and our stories as this opportunity to give other people a light forward in the dark.
It is amazing when you do open up about something that you're going through to somebody else, just how much weight can be lifted off your back and how mentally it can just be freeing. And we really appreciate you coming on because this is what it's all about. And I would love for you to share a little bit about your story.
Yeah, so I originally came to Unsinkable as a storyteller myself. I've worked in the mental health sector my entire career, but I was also struggling. I navigated an eating disorder for a number of years, and it wasn't until someone else opened up about their story on a podcast when I was, cleaning my kitchen, and I was listening to them talk about all the things that I was feeling that I really realized it was time for me to access the support that I needed. So someone else's story was a real catalyst for me starting my own healing journey, and then being able to give that back to other people has been, so powerful and inspiring for me.
What do you think it was on that podcast that triggered you just to go, you know what? I'm dealing with something, I need to open up. Was there something that really spoke to you or something that you can call back to that really made you feel I need to make a change?
Yeah, well, so many things. It was just, basically, it felt like she was in my head. She was saying all of the experiences I was having, all the symptoms that I had been going through, even the thoughts that I was having on a regular basis, just the obsessive thinking. I had never really thought about it from the perspective of, navigating my relationship with food. I knew there was a problem. I felt it for a long time, but until someone put words to it and described exactly what it felt like, it was really easy for me to put it on the back burner and ignore how I was doing.
Powerful, powerful stuff. The theme for this, and I love this so much, you can think glass half full, half empty type mindset, light in the dark. Where does that overall theme come from when you're talking about this?
Yeah, so I think on two hands, for the storyteller, your story is really a way to open up the light of your own experience. You can see dark moments as something that we've conquered and been through, or we can see dark moments as this opportunity to really evaluate who we are, what we've experienced, the strengths that we have, and the resilience that contains within us. And then for the people in the audience or the person relating to connecting with that story, the light in the dark is really the person who shares their story, is the person lighting the way for them, giving them some hope, giving them an opportunity to feel less alone, and ultimately leading them from the dark into the light where there's resources and supports that are available.
And it can be so easy to fall into a negative mindset or something that you're dealing with. And I know sometimes, especially right now, the news that we report, it can be really difficult to hear. And the world does seem divided at times. But I think it's even more important that we have that empathy for one another and have these conversations. How would you like that message to be received? How can we move forward where it becomes a more welcoming, nourishing place for people that are dealing with these issues?
Yeah, well, sharing your own story is a way of modeling what it looks like to go first. And you give someone else permission who might be navigating their own struggles when you share and you open up about your own experience. I think when it comes to empathy, stories are a way for us to see each other as human. It's a chance for us to see how we can resonate with someone else's experience, even if their experience is so different from ours. There's an emotional resonance, whether it's fear, whether it's anxiety, whether it's grief. Like, there's something in anyone's story that you can take something away from and see as a mirror back to yourself, and also as a chance to give more empathy and compassion to the people around you.
It's just beautiful words. I'm looking at you, and you have such a way when you're speaking about this. I really want to thank you for coming on, because not only is this super important, but I'm sure that somebody at home watching, now that you've shared your story, could potentially help them. So Haley, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you. My pleasure. This is great.
And still to come on Your Morning Ottawa, we are going to be checking out this week's new movies with the one, the only, Mr. Hollywood, including a brand new movie starring Ryan Gosling in space. Matt is sitting by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. I believe that's Jason. Elon next to him. What do you think they're talking about? Maybe theater movies in a brand new home. Maybe a brand new nice setup in the basement with the Lazy Boy recliners, the 80-inch screens. That's a combination we didn't know we needed. All details coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Friday. Thanks for joining us here at Your Morning Ottawa. I'm Will Aiello. Rosie is off today. Melissa is off today. So it's me and you. We are at the halfway point. Coming up after our news and weathercast, we got the one, the only, Mr. Hollywood here talking about our Friday new releases. One that I'm very excited about. I'm sure many of you too. I don't want to butcher this, but I'll try. The Peaky Blinders, the movie officially coming out. Was that all right? Yeah, maybe. I got some work to do. Let's get to our news headlines before we get talking about the new movies for your Friday. Switching gears, a man is now facing impaired driving charges following a fatal crash in Ottawa's West End Wednesday night. A 52-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the scene at the collision on Carling near Moody Drive. 31-year-old Vicente Ramos has been charged with impaired operation of a vehicle causing death and dangerous operation causing death. The president of the Ottawa chapter of Mothers Against Drunk Driving continuing to share their message, but wishing they didn't have to.
This is so unnecessary. It's a heartbreak for a family. It's a long-term heartbreak. It just won't be over by the time the court case is finished.
Ottawa police say in the first 2 months of the year, 139 drivers have been charged with impaired driving offenses. The city of Ottawa is ramping up the possibility of test bus-only lanes on Bank Street in the Glebe neighborhood. The move comes as the city explores ways to improve transit in the busy corridor. If the pilot project moves forward, it would see bus-only lanes northbound on Bank Street between Homewood Avenue and Pretoria during the morning rush, and a bus-only lane southbound on Bank Street between Powell Avenue and Homewood Avenue into the afternoon.
We would really like to see those bus lanes improved and ultimately expanded into Centretown. We really think, considering the transit crisis right now in Ottawa, that bus lanes are really a great way to speed up transit and to reduce costs.
The report will be presented to a city committee at the end of the month. That is where councillors will debate the idea. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has wrapped up his visit south of the border, which included an appearance on one of the most popular podcasts in the world.
So there's a narrative in America, and the narrative is that you were about to win and your party was about to win, but then Trump came along and said he was going to turn Canada into the 51st state, and everybody went crazy. Is that accurate?
I wouldn't say they went crazy. So we're never going to be the 51st state, and I just wish he'd knock that off.
Poilievre's appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience lasted for more than 2 hours. It averages about 11 million listeners per episode, and Poilievre used the platform to advocate for tariff-free trade between Canada and the U.S. He had previously been invited to appear on the podcast during last year's federal election, but he declined. In world news, Canada and 6 other countries say that they are ready to help secure the Strait of Hormuz as the war in the Middle East drives up oil prices and threatens the world economy.
This war has really gone from a short, sharp Venezuelan in and out to it could be this decade's version of a quagmire for the United States.
The statement signed by Canada and allies reads, in part, we express our readiness to contribute to appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the strait. However, it doesn't detail how they plan to make that contribution. There's ongoing concerns that the closure could further impact the global supply chain. Heritage Ottawa is calling on the federal government to make a decision on the future of 24 Sussex. No prime minister has lived at the official residence since 2015. The NCC estimates it would cost at least $36 million to restore the building to good condition and says it has presented options for the future of 24 Sussex to the government and is just awaiting decision. Heritage Ottawa says that it would like the property to remain the official residence of the prime minister. There's an oven recall in Canada with a warning to immediately stop using if you have one. The recall is for the specific Frigidaire gas ranges. This is all because of an increased burn risk. At least 1 person has been hurt in Canada and 30 people in the U.S. have reported injuries. The company said the affected gas ranges can, quote, experience a delayed ignition of the oven's bake burner. For more details, you can visit our website, ctvnews.ca. Not here, but a sign of spring from Washington to Tokyo. Cherry blossom spotters from the Japanese government announced the blooming has begun, marking the start of the season. Officials say it's 5 days earlier than usual. Meanwhile, in D.C., they are marking the start of the Cherry Blossom Festival today, which brings more than 1 million people to the area. Peak bloom is expected between March 29th and April 5th. Oh, and you look at what we have today. We aren't seeing the cherry blossoms today. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe potentially a little bit into the afternoon, and then definitely not Sunday as Mother Nature provides us with more winter weather. So today, this morning, snowfall. This afternoon, though, snowfall, and this weekend we're still seeing even more snowfall. I've put the sad face in there with my colleague Steve because we deemed it appropriate today because we believe the snowfall wants to be gone for so many of us. Let's take a look at what's happening right now across the region. Ottawa at -5, Brockville -2, Cornwall at -3 degrees, in Trenton -1, so a little bit warmer over there. Daytime high values will pick up close to the freezing mark. We'll get to that in a moment. Currently, just cloudy skies before the winter weather makes an appearance. Again, special weather statement in effect for Ottawa. Could see up to 15 centimeters over the next couple of days. Snow hasn't begun yet, but it is on the way, continuing to be heavier at the midday point, clearing out by the time most of us get ready for dinner. Then maybe a little bit of trickling precipitation overnight through the day on Saturday, but we will see primarily sunshine through the day on Saturday. But snowfall not done yet as we approach Saturday evening and then roll through the day on Sunday. Just like that, another blast is on the way. We could see some mixed precipitation based on where those temperatures are going to be. Right now, maybe another 2 to 5 centimeters, could be a little bit more, could be a little less, depending on how that system moves through. As of now, though, be prepared to do some shoveling. So this is just the storm that we're seeing today going into tomorrow. About 10 centimeters possible here in Ottawa, much less the more south we go. Northeastern Ontario seeing a little bit more as well. South of Ottawa into Kingston, even Brockville, you see the differences there. It all depends on where that system cuts through. South gets more rainfall over the next day or so. Then as we roll through Sunday, more snowfall on the way, bringing some more of that beautiful white stuff. This is what it looks like. This is what we hoped it would look like today with spring. We're going to need to bring back that snow image to pile atop, bring those flowers back down. They're not poking out through the day today. Spring officially begins at 10:46, but it will not be feeling like it. I bring you that bad news today, but it's okay. Tomorrow does look a little bit better. Temperatures on the flip side, right around what we typically see this time of year here in Ottawa. A little warmer in Trenton and Kingston, 3 and 2 degrees there. Taking a look across the board, at least for many of us, enjoying March break with the ski hills. Great news for that, especially as we head into the weekend. Tremblant looking very good. Freezing mark with more snowfall on the way. Here is your next 5 days. We are officially into spring in a couple of hours. Tomorrow, very nice. 5 degrees, the sunshine returns. Overnight lows not too bad, but then as we roll through Sunday, that's when it could get a little bit messy. More snowfall on the way, maybe some mixed precipitation, some sleet showers on the way. Then as we approach next week, cloudy skies, not too cool, but we're just itching for that sunshine and warmth ahead. And as we take a look at your roads on your Friday morning commute, nothing major to report at this time. Snow hasn't started quite yet, hasn't affected the roads whatsoever. As we move through the next couple of hours, though, we'll be sure to pass along any information as it arrives.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Okay, now I gotta ask you, how buttered is this popcorn?
This is freshly buttered, Will, just for you, because today is all about Ryan Gosling's latest movie. I know people are excited about this. It's called Project Hail Mary.
So I met an alien. He's kind of growing on me. At least he's not growing in me, you know, which was a concern for a little while.
I'm going to choose to believe that you brought that popcorn just for me.
I definitely did. I definitely did. You know, I know you guys love your popcorn here, and I love this movie. This is actually a great popcorn movie. A movie you can just sit back, relax, get the popcorn, and enjoy the ride, because it is quite the ride. You got Ryan Gosling here, who is just great. This is his show. You know, he's in every scene. It's his movie, and it's his friendship with this little rocky alien guy. And you'll learn how that the relationship comes to be and his mission, but it's really well told, really well done visually. It's dazzling. They use a lot of practical effects, which I enjoyed. Yeah, this is a rare movie, Will, where you watch and you finish and you just feel hopeful for humanity. It's one of those like feel-good, great movies with some twists and turns in there as well.
Okay, I like that. After the movie, this is a very important question. After that movie, were you longing for a robot friend yourself?
I do. Yeah, I would love. It's not right. It's an alien
robot movie.
I'll take any friend, robot alien.
Just like that. And Ryan Gosling, who can't go wrong.
Yeah, I would be friends with Ryan Gosling in a second.
All right, number 2, what do you got for us?
All right, here we go. Speaking of number 2, this is a sequel. It's called Ready or Not, Here I Come.
By surviving hide and seek, you've triggered a new game.
This time against the High Council families. Double or nothing. This part will be familiar. They will try to kill you.
Welcome to our home.
Oh, I am so intrigued. Tell me more.
Will, I know you like your horror. This mixes horror with comedy, so you're gonna laugh and then you're gonna squirm with the kills, because that's what this is. So she's on the run once again. That's our character, Gray. She's brought her sister along with her this time. She's got to survive till dawn, just like the previous movie. But there's more twists as to what's going on with these ultra-rich families, and they're trying to succeed one another. And it's I won't go into spoilers, but it does take you on an interesting ride. And they serve up some new, fresh, interesting kills. Like that's you watch this movie and it's like, how are they gonna off that person?
And a lot of big actors in that one too. As the trailer kept playing, I was just like, I know them.
Elijah Wood, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Catherine Newton. Yeah, it's a fun time.
Unreal. Okay. And I know that I'm a horror fan. I love those ones.
Yeah.
But the next one,
You're
I'm
a
very
fan?
excited about.
Oh.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Not bad on
That's
name,
pretty
right?
good. It's Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man.
Your gypsy son is running the Peaky Blinders like it's 1919 all over again.
I can't help him because I'm not that man anymore.
All right, I might have the accent down, but I know I can't pull off the hat. It's too cool.
Oh, no, I think you could. You can pull it off. Well, this, fresh off its limited run in theaters, you can catch it now at home on Netflix. That's where you'll watch this one. And it is based on that classic, great, award-winning series, and they're all back to wrap it up. I think it's a fitting finale. It delivers ample grit and the swagger. You watch that, you just want to strut down the streets.
That's why I've been doing the accent for the last 10 minutes, just trying to feel like I'm a slight part of it. And just quickly, do people have to watch the show before watching the movie?
That's a great question, because I admittedly didn't finish the show, so I was worried I got to watch this movie. And don't worry, they fill in all the blanks. So definitely for the fans, and if you're going in blind, you'll still enjoy.
Good. Okay. All right. It is March break still. You got our top 5 March break movies for us.
I do. Here we go. We're capping it off March break with some great flicks. For the kiddos, Dora and the Lost City of Gold. You watched Dora?
Like a little bit growing up. It wasn't like the top list, but it was up there.
Well, this was the live action version, and it's bright, it's upbeat. I love 22 Jump Street.
That's the best.
Oh, my God. Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill, and this is the second one that culminates in a spring break. I loved it. Doesn't get better than SpongeBob.
I mean, a classic.
I love SpongeBob so much, and I'm going with Sponge on the Run, Spring Breakers, need I say more? Not for kids, by the way, but James Franco is wild, it's stylish. And my favorite, Paddington in Peru.
Oh, that's a favorite of the 5.
You know, people are going on trips, and this one is just a feel-good, heartwarming movie following Paddington Bear. Maybe I do need a cute friend.
I was going to say.
Alien, bear, robot, give me something.
Yeah, you know what? I will provide my services. If you would like a movie date to go with you and enjoy these, I got you.
I'll bring the popcorn.
Look at that. A great deal. Mr. Hollywood, we love when you come in. Happy Friday, my friend.
Thanks, Will.
All right, I got some popcorn to eat. So as we do this, I'll be watching, because coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, we are checking out 3 of Ottawa's hottest properties. Jason Pilon from the Pilon Group is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. And I believe there's rumors that maybe he has a 100-inch screen TV with some Lazy Boys, Mr. Hollywood.
Oh, maybe I'm going to watch.
Oh, we'll just have to wait and see. That's coming up shortly. We'll take a peek through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Final hours of winter, but it rolls through the weekend. More snowfall on the way. We are cruising up to 7:45 on your Friday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, and happy Friday. It is time to check out some of the hottest properties here in Ottawa. Jason Pilon is here with a breakdown of what's available right now. We're going to be starting with a single-family home in Avalon East. Jason, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You know, on days like today when the snowfall is still there, we want to head inside to some nice, cozy areas.
We do, and you know what? Today we have 3 amazing properties that all have one thing in common that everyone's looking for, and that's no rear neighbors.
Oh, we love that. Privacy is honestly so underrated. So
absolutely.
Let's take a look at the first one we got for you.
Yeah, so the first property we have is 2234 Claremont. That's in the Avalon community of Orleans. We've got a phenomenal 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom house. Great open concept main floor layout, refreshed kitchen, open concept living family room. And then as we head upstairs, large master, we've got a full ensuite, walk-in closet, 3 other great-sized bedrooms, main bath, and then you've also got a second-floor laundry, so you've got that convenience upstairs. And then we go down to a fully finished lower level. You got a great family room, gym, and then a full bath. And then as we head outside, yeah, we've got a premium pie-shaped lot. We've got an in-ground pool. We've got a hot tub. We've got 20-foot cedars just to give us that privacy. So phenomenal, great location, right near the park, school, shopping. So phenomenal value.
You weren't kidding too, and I feel like I was gonna pick a part of the house. I love the staircase, but then as soon as you look in the backyard, that has to be the money shot.
Absolutely, yeah, that's the selling feature for sure.
Oh, so great. All right, that's the first of 3. What do you got for a second, Jason?
Yeah, so again, another phenomenal property. This one is in an exclusive enclave in Orleans called Quarry Ridge. They built all these properties right up on top of a quarry in Common Glen. So you've got a phenomenal, again, 4-bed, 4-bath. This is over 3,000 square feet. 2-story dining room that soars up top. You've got an open concept living. Then you've got a 2-sided fireplace that opens up to the back. And then again, we've got kind of our phenomenal feature here where we've got no rear neighbors, just backing onto the forest. And then you've got a walkout lower level as well. So here's a lower level, second gas fireplace. You've got a wet bar, full bed, and then you've got also a full bath down there as well. But you know, we head up to the second story, all hardwood. You've got a phenomenal ensuite in here, and then you've got 3 other good-sized bedrooms, main bath, and then they've also moved the laundry up to the second floor just so you have that convenience. But again, this one is all about the no rear neighbors.
I know, and it's so open inside the home, and I only thought about that balcony you have overlooking the quarry, having your morning coffee there. That's those beautiful moments that you can have.
Yeah, great location.
All right, we got one more that's actually listed at the exact same price.
Yeah, so then we head out to Woodstream in Greeley. So phenomenal bungalow here. This is all brick, great layout. You've got main floor living that's completely open to the kitchen, just upgraded everywhere. You know, location-wise, Woodstream is a phenomenal community in the Greeley. You've got homeowners association in here where you've got access to tennis courts, pickleball, walking trails, paths. So just a great location. You've got 2 bedrooms on the main floor in addition to the primary. And then we go downstairs, we've got 2 more additional bedrooms. And this is kind of the money shot here as well. We've got a phenomenal home theater with a prep area, 2 additional bedrooms, full bath, and then this screened-in sunroom that overlooks 0.5 acres, wooded, fully fenced, irrigation system, triple car garage. This one definitely has it all in a different enclave in the city.
That is so funny. I swear I didn't see this beforehand. I was joking with Mr. Hollywood, the movie critic, about, you know, maybe Jason's got a nice movie theater set up in our final one. There it is, because how nice is that, having that? And I mean, all of these just have the most beautiful, secure and private backyards. Like,
and that's what everyone's looking for. Everyone on the wish list would love to have know your neighbors. Doesn't always come at the right cost, but these 3 represent some great value.
Jason, we love when you come in. Really thank you for joining us and highlighting 3 amazing properties, especially I know Greeley's booming right now. Appreciate your time, and hey, happy first day of kind of spring.
Kind of spring. Thanks, Will.
Stay with us, friends. We will be right back. It is milestone celebration time for this Friday, March 20th. Let's kick it off with a happy 8th birthday to Isla. Love all your family and friends. Happy birthday from all of us here from Your Morning Ottawa. We got a happy 3rd birthday to Luca. We love you so much, and we hope you have the best day. This is love from Mama, Daddy, Nico, your grandparents, and your whole family. Oh, here we go. We got a happy 101st birthday to Ann Fulton. Love all your family and friends. The photo is Ann with her only great-granddaughter, Lainey. Happy birthday, Ann. Oh, my goodness. What a milestone indeed. Splurge, spoil, you do whatever you want today. It is your day. If you got a milestone celebrated with us, send us those birthday announcements for kids 13 and under, or 100 or more, or wedding anniversaries 50 years or more. Just email us ottawa.milestones@ctv.ca, and we will share that with our viewers. Heading outside, spring is literally around the corner, but it's not feeling like it. Stay with us. All those details coming up on Your Morning Ottawa. It's Friday, March 20th.
This is so unnecessary. It's a heartbreak for a family.
We are learning more about a head-on collision that killed a 52-year-old woman Wednesday evening. Ottawa police say the crash was caused by an alleged impaired driver. Renewed calls for the federal government to make a decision on the derelict official Prime Minister's residence. And it's that time of year, protecting your home from spring flooding. We get some expert advice from a local contractor. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. Thanks for joining us on Your Morning Ottawa. Rosie and Melissa are off today, enjoying some well-deserved time off. So it's you and me for the next hour. And although we only have a couple hours of winter left, does it look like it's going to be said so into spring? No, weather advisory in effect. We could see about 10 centimeters today and more throughout the end of the weekend. Full details on the forecast coming up. But first, we'll get towards our news headlines. New details are emerging about a head-on collision in Ottawa's West End that killed a 52-year-old woman. Ottawa police say the crash was caused by an alleged impaired driver.
The officers on scene suspected that the driver had alcohol in their body. They made a roadside demand, and that driver failed the roadside and therefore was arrested.
The crash happened on Carling Avenue near Moody Wednesday evening. Police have charged 31-year-old Vicente Ramos with impaired operation of a vehicle causing death and dangerous operation causing death. Ottawa police say in the first 2 months of the year, 139 drivers have been charged with impaired driving offenses. The City of Ottawa is ramping up to possibly test bus-only lanes on Bank Street in the Glebe neighborhood. The move comes as the city explores ways to improve transit in the busy corridor. If the pilot project goes ahead, it would see bus-only lanes northbound on Bank Street between Homewood Avenue and Pretoria during the morning rush, and a bus-only lane southbound on Bank Street between Powell Avenue and Homewood Avenue into the afternoon.
Get rid of the cars because it's all drive-through traffic. And we need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, functioning bus lanes.
I see buses going up and down Bank Street all day, every day, double-decker buses, elongated buses with nobody on them.
The report will be presented to a city committee at the end of the month, and that is where councillors will debate the idea. Heritage Ottawa is calling on the federal government to make a decision on the future of 24 Sussex. No prime minister has lived at the official residence since 2015. The NCC estimates that it would cost at least $36 million to restore the building to good condition and says it has presented options for the future of 24 Sussex to the government and is awaiting a decision. Heritage Ottawa says it would like the property to remain the official residence of the prime minister. Taking a look at world news, Canada and 6 other allies have jointly condemned Iran for trying to block the Strait of Hormuz, and they say that they are ready to help make sure that the waterway is safe for transporting oil. The statement signed by the leaders of Canada, the UK, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Japan says, "We express our readiness to contribute to appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the strait." It does not detail how the countries plan to make that contribution. The Japanese Prime Minister paid a visit to the White House as U.S. President Donald Trump was questioned about why he didn't tell Japan and other allies about the plans to attack Iran.
One thing, you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor?
Trump also said he expects Japan to step up in supporting the war on Iran. It's the latest blow to the confidence of small business owners as gas prices continue to rise. A new report shows many are feeling the strain. Overall costs, the conflict in the Middle East, and the rapid price jumps in fuel continue to eat into owners' profits. The CFIB report shows nearly 6 in 10 small businesses are concerned about the rising energy costs. And when costs go up, something's got to give.
As cost of transportation goes up, that means the cost of the input product is eventually passed down to the small business owner, who can only absorb it for so long until they themselves have to pass it down to their customers.
Higher operation costs for small businesses are also being offset by holding off on hiring and delaying investments. The study goes on to say Canada's small businesses aren't collapsing, but they are bracing for a tougher road ahead. And here's a look at today's gas prices here in Ottawa. According to Canadians for Affordable Energy, gas is at $1.71.9 per litre in the capital. Every year in Canada, millions of birds die by crashing into the glass on the outside of buildings. And now that spring is just around the corner, Safe Wings Ottawa wants you to know how you can help prevent this.
There are easy solutions, putting markers on windows, using the windows judiciously, closing your curtains at night, not having your plants right up against the curtains. So everybody can help out. Even if they just treat one window where they know birds have hit, they can help save a bunch of lives, which is going to be good for the environment and the earth.
In the capital, they estimate 250,000 birds are lost every year to these collisions. Many believe high-rises are to blame, but 99% of crashes involve low-rise buildings and residential homes. Safe Wings Ottawa has been holding this annual event for more than a decade. The annual World Happiness Report is out, and Canadians might not be so happy about where we've landed on the list. Canada slipped to 25th place in the latest report by Oxford University. Researchers say that slide is driven by heavy social media use, which is pushing a decline in well-being for young people. That's especially true for teenage girls in English-speaking countries. Taking the #1 spot, Finland. It ranked as the world's happiest country for the 9th straight year. And I feel like maybe another contributing factor will be the harsh winter that we've had so far. And although spring is very close to arriving, Mother Nature saying winter is going to push through at least the first few days. We do have a weather advisory in effect. How much snowfall are we seeing? Maybe 5 to 10 centimeters through the day today. We get a little break tomorrow, and then more on the way on Sunday. I'm just the middleman. I'm not the bearer of bad news. That's Melissa. I'm just filling in on the day today. Taking a look at the wind speeds. Really nothing too dramatic into the afternoon. -5 degrees currently. We are warming up to our seasonal daytime high, which is right at that freezing mark. Temperatures will be warming up tomorrow before more snowfall is on the way. Temperatures across the board, -2 in Trenton, Pembroke at -5, -1 in Kingston, and we looked at Ottawa at -5. Just cloudy skies currently before that snowfall starts to arrive. Really, as we get to about 9 o'clock, we'll start to see some precipitation begin. Heavy at the midday point, continuing into the afternoon. As we get to around that dinner time, though, the snowfall clears out. We get a nice break. Again, total amounts over the next 24 hours, maybe 5 to 10 centimeters. As we get to this evening, just a chance for some little precipitation in northeastern Ontario, maybe a sprinkling of showers or some flurries overnight. As we get through tomorrow, the sunshine reappears for one day. Then as we get to Sunday, more snowfall is on the way. Total amounts at this point, maybe 2 to 5 centimeters. Most of that snowfall will be hitting Ottawa. Just south, we're getting rainfall. A little bit north, we're getting some lighter snowfall. As that system starts to move through over the next 24 hours, it can dramatically change. If we see that 2 to 5 or maybe a little bit more snowfall in the forecast. So just an early preparation for you. Shovels needing to be out today and into Sunday. So this is the totals that we're seeing just over the first snowfall that we're seeing over the next 24-hour period. Around 10 centimeters in Pembroke and Ottawa and Montreal. A lot less into Trenton, Kingston, Brockville, a little bit more. So really, as that system moves through, we could really start to see a little bit more or a little bit less. And then more for on the way on Sunday. So already we've moved up an hour from what we were seeing in our models earlier, and that's adding to our total. So we could see 15 centimeters by the time we get to Monday morning, or maybe even just a little bit more. Great news for the ski hills as we approach the end of our March break weekend. Daytime high values, not too bad. Typical for what we see this time of year. 0 in Ottawa, -1 in Cornwall, 1 in Brockville. So temperatures maybe just a little bit above the mark in certain areas. Just beneath the freezing mark in Petawawa, -1. Tremblant hovering at that 0. Very happy we're seeing some more snowfall as we enter Friday into the weekend forecast. Spring officially has sprung as we get to Friday afternoon and continue through the weekend. Tomorrow, beautiful. 5 degrees, plenty of sunshine to look forward to. Then next week, now the daytime high values, nothing too cold, nothing too warm. Looking a little bit cloudy, but overnight lows still a little bit below what we'd see this time of year. Spring will officially have sprung, but for many of us, it won't be feeling like it both today and into Sunday. Let's take a look at your roads at this hour. Nothing major to report, no collisions and no delays, which is really nice. That snowfall hasn't started quite yet. We got another 50 minutes to bring you some updates on the roads. We'll provide anything as it comes to fruition. And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, with flood watches already active for some local watersheds in the area, contractor Ryan joins us this morning with some advice that can help homeowners prevent flooding. Oh, do I have so much to talk to him about personally. We'll get into that coming up. He's going, I got you, from the rear. Taking a look at our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, we are showing a gloomy Friday ahead. It is 8:11. But you know what? It's Friday. I got you covered for the next 45 minutes. We'll be right back.
Ottawa's favorite cash contest is back, and it's big. Move 100's $50,000 Beat the Bank. 7 vaults. You decide how much to take home. Sound the alarm? You lose it all. Be listening weekdays for your chance to win.
Today's snow report brought to you by Calabogie Peaks. Play outside at Calabogie Peaks, the big mountain close to home.
And now I know many people are not extremely happy about what we're seeing today, but the ski hills loving the snowfall. Our snow report, Calabogie Peaks, 3 of 3 lifts with more snowfall on the way. Let's take a look across the board at what we're seeing. Many people still enjoying their March break, and they have a couple more days to hit the slopes. Vorlage, 4 of 4 lifts open. Runs are looking pretty good. Camp Fortune, 17 of 27. Edelweiss, only 2 of 5. Mont Cascade, 15 of 21 runs. Enjoy the snow today and on Sunday.
Hi from the peaks. Come play where big days make big smiles. We get an A+ for adventure. Calabogie.com.
Ryan Branton is a Canadian contractor, TV host, and entrepreneur known for his practical, no-nonsense. Happy Friday, right? Yeah. Approach to home renovation as the face behind. Even our camera operator's laughing. He joins us this morning with all the tips that we need this time of year. Good morning to you, my friend.
Hey, happy to be here, man.
And I'm so great and grateful to have you here because our third topic today is something that I've been dealing with over the last, we'll call it, couple of weeks.
Okay.
But we're going to get there. What do you got for us first?
We're talking about keeping water out of your basement, right? That's what we're talking about, flood prevention. Right now outside it gets warm, it gets cold. We got lots of problems. But that switch, I mean, like it's going to be 5 degrees on Saturday. I just watched you do the weather, right? So things are going to start to melt. Our downspouts. Let's take a look at our downspout right here. Check this thing out. So this is where it would connect to the house. I took this off my house this morning, by the way. Is it
going to be okay for today?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. But the water comes down here and then it makes a curve and it goes somewhere else, right? But it freezes up. You got to watch this, right? If this freezes up, this water is going to come down off the roof and it's just going to go everywhere. Maybe go, down by your foundation wall or whatever. So you got to keep an eye on these, especially in the seasons where, if it's frozen. Now, if it's common that it freezes, you can put a heater cable down there. Not now, but you can do it when there's no ice down there, right? Right. It's too late. But this is maintenance you can do before it. But these things are important. Keep an eye on these things. The other thing is where it comes out, you need to bring it far away from your house. You don't want it like if your foundation wall's right here, you don't want it there. You want it like way, way out. Get it out there, 5 or 6 feet. Get that water away.
Yeah, and especially if it gets frozen too. You want to make sure that if it does and you're not home and it happens, at least you know that it's going to be far away from the home.
Yeah. The other thing is, okay, we just talked about the weather. Like deck season is coming. It's not here yet, but it's coming. And what I see a lot of times, people go out and they buy new houses or whatever, and like, I want to build a deck. The problem is the grade of your house. Like your house is like this, right? Yeah. The grade of your house, they backfill it, and then now it dips a little. And then you come in and you build a nice deck, but you don't take that grade and bring it back up. Because we want to shed the water away from the house, right? So if you're going to be replacing your deck, if you're going to be putting in a new deck, doesn't matter, whatever you're doing around your grade, around that foundation, let's make sure the water flows away.
Okay,
simple
good to know.
Stuff, right? But the thing is, if you're not looking at that stuff in the fall, come the spring, it's too late. Now you have any type of negative slope, it's going to be a problem for you.
And especially if you're looking at things right now and you clearly see that you're having problems as we thaw out and have this. Don't wait till next year. Like, take care of it this spring so next year we can have a little bit more peace of mind.
Yeah. But then there's also cool stuff that we can do inside the house, and I want to show you this little contraption. This is a backwater valve.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a sewage one, but notwithstanding, there's ones for the weeping system and the rainwater. It flows this way out of the house. Okay, so now there's a backup. Something's coming up this way. What happens? Let's get right in here. Look at this. This little thing, boom, it closes shut. So now nothing comes up here.
Okay.
Into your house. If your house was here, right, your basement's like, because this sits right at your basement. This is a little cap that goes here. I took it off so we could play around with it today, but there's a little cap, and then this is right at your foundation level, right at the floor level, right? So if you ever have a problem, that, you know?
And at that point, when it stops it, so if the water keeps coming, what happens at that point?
Well, at this point, no water's going to penetrate here and come through.
Yeah.
Right? Like no sewage or anything like that. So it's going to go to your neighbor's yard or your neighbor's basement. Right?
I love that you laugh when you say that.
So, but the thing about these things is you have to keep an eye on them. You have to maintain them because these little things, they don't work like all the time, right? It's not like every Tuesday you get a backup. So you want to maintenance this. You want to open this up, make sure this is, moving properly and stuff like that. The other problem with these things is once it closes, the sewage coming out of your house, like your own sewage, is not leaving either.
Right.
So you got to keep an eye on that stuff. But these things are amazing. The city actually gives a rebate if you install these things. So amazing. And then the last thing we're talking about, you have a question.
Sub pumps, yeah. So I've had my alarm going off for the first time dealing with this in my new home. Alarm was going off. I think it was blocked or it's stripped or something going on. But it's a lot of people have been dealing with that. I've been seeing the plumbing trucks just going down the roads.
Yeah. So first off, what is a sump pump, right? Like, so a sump pump it's something that is lower in your basement. So your basement floor is like here, and then your sump pump would be lower than your basement. Now, your basement floor has a ton of crushed stone. So it's actually weeping the water underneath your basement floor, completely normal. And when there's a lot, we put in a pit, right? And all of that water goes into the pit because it's lower than your floor, and then you actively pump it out. The sump pumps are amazing. Okay? They're great. They're great. But I smile because it's the maintenance behind them. Right? It's just like this thing. It's not like every Tuesday you're using your sump pump, right?
Yeah.
It sits there all summer, and but for a couple rainstorms maybe, it's not being used. And then we get hit with the winter and boom, 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 right? Water, 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 water. And then now this thing has to work. And if it's not maintained properly, if you're not after it, then it's gonna not work. It's gonna fail.
All right, well, you know what? I got about 35 minutes left of the show here. You stay put. I'm gonna take you for a couple of hours and we'll have a debrief on my personal situation.
No problem, sounds good.
Ryan, appreciate you coming in ahead of what many people are talking about with flood preventions today.
Thanks.
All right, it is the end of March break week, but still lots to do, including a spot to paint your own chocolate. Doesn't that sound tasty? Details coming up after we head outside talking about flood prevention, because guess what? Winter rolling through the spring weekend. I'll tell you why. Coming up, stay with us, and happy Friday. Well, as March break comes to an end and with Easter fast approaching, a local chocolate maker is combining the best of both worlds, a paint your own chocolate event this weekend in Alma. Erica Gilmore from Hummingbird Chocolate is here this morning to talk all things delicious chocolate. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And I know I talked with you earlier, but I didn't really get that smell until we were right here. It is the best, isn't it?
It is, yes. You never get tired of that smell.
No, never. Before we get into my terrible craft skills that many of us have seen on this show, tell me about the event that's taking place.
Yes, so we have adorable bunnies, and we also have an egg event later in March that you can join, and we use this colored cocoa butter. So it's just the oil from cocoa beans, and we've colored it with some natural vegetable coloring, and you can paint your own bunny, and it's completely edible and delicious.
I mean, what's better than that? And that was the first question I asked you this morning. I said, they're edible, right?
Yes.
Well, of course.
We're not going to ruin a chocolate bunny by,
silly question. At the farmer's market, what are some of the Easter products that you have? Because I know March break coming to an end, but people love to get maybe an extra jump on it.
Yeah, so we're at the Ottawa Farmers Market every Sunday through the end of April, and we have a variety of little bunny bonbons here. So we have our marshmallow raspberry bunnies, honey bunnies, which are filled with a local honey ganache, and our hazelnutty bunnies filled with hazelnut, and also some delicious little mini eggs, including peanut butter, caramel, and hazelnut.
Okay, I'm going to take a shot.
Okay.
Is Honey Bunny your favorite?
It is my favorite.
Hey, there we go. You lit up a little bit more when you talked about it.
It's such a short season, Easter season, and so I eat like way too many Honey Bunnies in those short few weeks.
No judgment here on Your Morning Ottawa. Okay, I've been delaying this as long as I could. Let's get to the actual crafting here.
Okay, we're going to be amazing at this. So we have a milk bunny or a dark chocolate bunny. This is the milk one if you'd like to paint that guy. And you can like free flow it and just ignore all of the little things that are on the bunny, or you can try to like paint into the little lines. We've got a variety of colors here, and when people come to do our events, they can kind of mix and match and make their own colors as well.
Okay, when you look at all the tools of choice here, what do you think?
Well, I always go for a middle kind of range, probably.
All right, this one looks like, kind of like that. And I'm a turquoise guy, so
okay, there you go.
Green here, and what do we want to do? I think we want to give, let's go for the ears first.
Yes.
Okay.
That looks beautiful.
Don't you lie to me.
It really does. You're painting it within the lines, like very well.
I mean, that's what's most important, right?
Well, I think, whatever kind of creative expression you want to go for.
I love this. And people coming to look at the event, as they're doing this too, you're there to like give a little advice, but more so it's just for people just to have some fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of families who come, and everyone will do their own bunny. And then a lot of kids especially will tell us that they're so torn about how beautiful it is, and they don't actually want to eat it after they've decorated it, but I'm sure they do break down eventually and do that.
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, at a certain point, you just have to do that.
Yeah.
With the amount of snowfall that we're seeing, we're just going to add, this bunny is actually out right now, out into the, no,
cute.
I picked the too big of a one, but it's okay. There's just a little, we call that a blotch, I believe, professionally speaking, right?
Sure, yes, absolutely.
And remind people about the event this weekend if they're looking to come by.
Yeah, so Sunday, March 22nd, you need to buy tickets on Eventbrite for it. We also have one on next weekend, which is a paint your own egg. So you get one of these giant eggs and can really do whatever you want on there. And we also have one on the 27th, another bunny event, and we have an adult-only paint and sip event on April 2nd, where you can come in and have a cocktail or a hot chocolate and paint bunnies with your friends.
I love that. I'm giving the bunny a little Rudolph nose, given our winter.
He's beautiful.
I just took a full look at this. I'm sorry, our camera operator Mike, what would you like to do? Are you going to contribute towards?
Okay, let's see.
Or is he going to go for mine? Oh, wait, what do you?
Very Jackson Pollock.
You ruined it. It was so beautiful. And just like that. Oh, my.
Oh.
Hey, the good news is, no matter what, you can eat it.
Exactly.
I appreciate you coming in so much today.
Thanks so much.
And we're going to take a peek outside because my bunny is hopping through the snow, which is why I had the pebbles on there. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. I'm Will Aiello. Thanks for joining us here on Your Morning Auto. We got about 30 minutes left. Weather statement in effect for many of us, and it is National Macaroon Day. Those things go in hand because I know that we're a little bit sad that more snowfall will be on the way, but then it's a delicious treat that we can enjoy to just maybe put off a little bit of that sadness. That's coming up. We'll get to our news headlines on your Friday morning. Switching gears, a man is now facing impaired driving charges following a fatal crash in Ottawa's West End Wednesday evening. A 52-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the scene at the collision on Carling near Moody Drive. 31-year-old Vicente Ramos has been charged with impaired operation of a vehicle causing death and dangerous operation causing death. The president of the Ottawa chapter of Mothers Against Drunk Driving continuing to share their message, but wishing they didn't have to.
This is so unnecessary. It's a heartbreak for a family. It's a long-term heartbreak. It just won't be over by the time the court case is finished.
Ottawa police say in the first 2 months of the year, 139 drivers have been charged with impaired driving offenses. The city of Ottawa is ramping up to possibly test bus-only lanes on Bank Street in the Glebe neighborhood. The move comes as the city explores ways to improve transit in the busy corridor. If the pilot project goes ahead, it would see bus-only lanes northbound on Bank Street between Homewood Avenue and Pretoria during the morning rush, and a bus-only lane southbound on Bank Street between Powell Avenue and Homewood Avenue into the afternoon.
We would really like to see those bus lanes improved and ultimately expanded into Centretown. We really think, considering the transit crisis right now in Ottawa, that bus lanes are really a great way to speed up transit and to reduce costs.
The report will be presented to a city committee at the end of the month, and that is where councillors will debate the idea. Heritage Ottawa is calling on the federal government to make a decision on the future of 24 Sussex. No prime minister has lived at the official residence since 2015. The NCC estimates that it would cost at least $36 million to restore the building to good condition and says it has presented options for the future of 24 Sussex to the government and is awaiting a decision. Heritage Ottawa says it would like the property to remain the official residence of the prime minister. There's an oven recall in Canada with a warning to immediately stop using it if you have one. The recall is for these specific Frigidaire gas ranges you see here. It's because of an increased burn risk. At least one person has been hurt in Canada and 30 people in the U.S. have reported injuries. The company said the affected gas ranges can experience a delayed ignition of the oven's bake burner. You can find more details on our website, ctvnews.ca. Following the death of Ontario's beloved forecasting groundhog Wyerton Willie, animal rights activists are hoping to bury the practice of using live animals for the traditional winter predictions and offered a few alternatives.
Such as 3D holographic projections, an animatronic groundhog, or any other alternative that doesn't involve taking yet another live groundhog out of their natural environment.
PETA wants an end to what it calls the cruel tradition by transitioning to more ethical options. However, the town says Willie brings joy to the community and they'll be looking for someone else for the years of predictions to come. Definitely a hot topic, especially with the passing of Willie, to decide what's to happen in the future. As for the future of us here, winter holding on over the last couple of hours, but it will be springing into springtime as we have a weather advisory in effect. We are seeing potentially 5 to 10 centimeters of some snowfall today with a little bit more on the way. But the weather advisory is in place because between about 9 and we'll call it 4 p.m. today, we could see heavy snowfall at time, which will be impacting our drive out on the commuter road. So just leave yourself some extra time. So the story, snowfall, more snowfall, and then even more snow. Sad face. Duly noted and welcomed here today because I think we're all feeling that. Get rid of the snowfall. At least tomorrow, we do see some sunshine and warmer temperatures, but it will not last. Temperatures look like this right now on your Friday morning. Pembroke -5, as well as Ottawa, Montreal at -4. Currently cloudy, not a lot of sunshine today as that system moves through, entering through the capital. Snowfall will continue heavy at times midday point, clearing out by the time we bite into our delicious dinner this evening. At least the ski hills, very happy, especially if we have some plans to hit the slopes over the next couple of days. Overnight tonight, a clearing, a nice beautiful sunshine day filled for the majority of Saturday with temperatures rising above the freezing mark and above seasonal, a word we love to say this time of year. Then as we roll through and enter into the end of the weekend, more snowfall on the way. Models showing, at least right now, another 5 centimeters just for Sunday alone. As the system goes through, you can see north a little bit lighter snow. South, we're seeing some rainfall. So over the next 24 hours, we'll really determine how much we see, but be prepared for more snowfall on the way. About 10 centimeters over the next day or so. At this point, till about 8 or 9 o'clock Sunday, another 3 to 5, maybe even more as it trickles into the afternoon. So maybe 15, 20 centimeters over the course of the next 72 hours. I'm just the middleman. Don't blame me. Right at that freezing mark, a typical seasonal daytime high for this time of year here in the capital. -1 in Cornwall, Brockville just above the freezing mark at 1. Across the board, Tremblant very happy with the forecast over the last few days. Montreal sitting at -2. Over the next week, spring has sprung Saturday. Woo! Very nice. We're going to focus on that for just a few more seconds. 5 degrees, plenty of sunshine, not even cold with the overnight low. Then as we get to Sunday, we start to see the chance for snowfall, maybe some mixed precipitation depending on where those temperatures lay. But at this point, just more snowfall on the way and then a cloudy next week, but at least the daytime high values won't be too cool.
Weather brought to you by Yeckendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
And an update on your roads. We have a collision eastbound on Rideau Street right before the intersection with King Edward Avenue. Parkdale is starting to get quite backed up southbound. It's especially slow at the intersection at Wellington Street. And the 417 is moving smoothly in both directions. The 174 running smoothly as well. Bridges coming in from Gatineau also moving very good on your Friday morning. Well, contest time! British Columbia is home to wineries across 9 distinct regions, from intimate small batch producers to grand estates. And we want to send you on the ultimate BC wine country escape. You got 4 days surrounded by breathtaking vineyard, lake, and mountain views. The ultimate journey includes airfare, accommodation, and incredible winery experiences. You'll wander scenic back roads, share unforgettable vineyard views, and discover the region's celebrated wines and culinary delights. For your chance to win the incredible BC getaway, enter on our contest page, ctvottawa.ca, and good luck to all. Well, the Ottawa Home and Garden Show is underway today, right through the weekend at the EY Centre. Melissa had a chance to visit some of the vendors that you can meet at this year's event.
We are here with RE/MAX this morning with Ansel Clark. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So great to see you again here at the Home Show. Tell us what you'll be doing here this weekend.
Well, we'll be here greeting visitors, explaining to them all the ins and outs of buying and selling homes, or renting for that matter. We cover everything. We work with investors, anybody really that's looking to buy or sell.
And it's so nice to be here at the Home Show because there's so many ideas for people who are looking for those spring projects or maybe spring real estate.
Yes, actually, if somebody's looking to sell their home, now's a good time to come down to the Home Show, get some ideas about what improvements they should be making.
Right.
They can also, if they just want to make their homes more comfortable, just come down, have a look at what's available, and maybe pick up a few deals.
I love that.
Because there's lots of deals going on.
Absolutely. And it's great to have you here because people can ask questions like, hey, I want to renovate my home to sell. What's some good ROI? And you can kind of give them some tips.
Exactly. Things like kitchens and bathrooms are always the most important renovations that they can do. That's usually the biggest return on your investment.
Okay, some great advice. And talk about how the market is doing as we head into spring here in Ottawa.
Well, the market is very stable. It started out a little slow, but fortunately for buyers, it's a great opportunity to get into the market. The prices have remained stable. There's lots of inventory. That's one thing that we notice is that the listings are really picking up. So for a buyer, there's lots of opportunities to go out and find a great house at a good price.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having us here today. We appreciate you taking some time. And again, you can find Ansel with the RE/MAX Group right here at the Ottawa Home and Garden Show this weekend.
It is National Macaron Day, and we brought Kelka Show joining us. We have David on this very special day. This must be the best day of the year for you. It's National Macaron Day.
Of course it is. Yeah, it's very special for us.
I love that. And your story is really cool because the wife is a pastry chef, but you are actually an engineer at heart. So how did that combination start the business?
Well, actually, like when I met her, she was actually packing up to move to France, to Paris. And at that time, I was working as an engineer. So when she came back after a couple of years, we decided to come to Canada. And we're like, why don't we just start together something like a pastry thing or something like that? And then that's how it started. Like once we came to Canada, we started to start like a pastry shop.
I am really curious, given your engineering background, how did that contribute towards what you create on a daily basis? Because I feel like there are similarities there.
Yeah. I mean, like she's the one in the kitchen, but I'm the one like behind her. So I help like with all the numbers, all the recipes. Let's do things. Let's change that. Let's improve. You know, that's what's engineering about. So just let's make things more efficient. So that's when I got in and helped her.
I love that. And what's it like being here in the capital and having the support of the community with you and your wife? Because that's a really, truly passionate family business.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's been a fantastic journey. Same year we opened Kelka Shows, we had our first child. So it was wonderful, yeah. So it's very special. They said it to us, not just because it gave us the opportunity to have our dream jobs, but to start our family here.
And what's the child's name?
Daniel.
Daniel,
Yeah.
okay. Now, does Daniel have a favorite flavor?
Yeah, I have two. I have Daniel and Evelyn. So
okay.
For Daniel, he likes chocolate for sure. He likes salted caramels. Like that would be his favorite one.
A nice choice.
And then for Evelyn, she loves like everything, but I would say like cotton candy.
Cotton candy. Okay,
Yeah.
so those are the top ones from the kids' choices. Whatever flavors do you have here too? Because there are so many to
There's
choose
a
from.
lot of flavors. So I just brought up like a few. So there's like raspberry dark chocolate, which is very popular because it's also dairy-free.
Oh, very nice.
So a lot of people, they come for that flavor. There's vanilla, there's lavender for those ones who like floral flavors. There's lemon curds, so there's a bunch of flavors there.
I love that. And behind this special box, we got even more over here?
We have more. So this is like a box of like 24 macarons. We just open that, and then you come, like the beauty of it, it's like we have a beautiful display full of flavors, and then you come and choose your own flavors. So we start like filling up the boxes, and that's how it works.
I love that, and I like the side angle because now we can see the middle of the macarons, which is,
exactly,
that's the sweet spot.
That's the sweet spot. So all the flavor is in the filling.
Okay.
So that's great.
And we got the faves from the family members. Now, being the engineer behind the scenes, what is your top pick?
Well, I do like a bit of everything, like including like box designing. That's my favorite thing to do. We actually have a tower, which we have a patent for that one.
Oh,
so it's like a macaron tower. It's very nice. It's clear. So we assembled it together. I should have brought it to show it. And yeah, so it's exciting. There's always something new. Every time we open a shop, I'm the one that designs it, like bring out my computer, my software programs, and yeah.
Well, I'm going with Daniel's choice, and we're trying the caramel one here.
That's really good.
Oh, this is the money shot. People looking to come check you out, especially on the National Day today. Where are you located?
Yeah, of course. So we have two locations, one in Westboro, and the second one at Manor Park, 311 San Laurent Boulevard. How is it?
This is just what I need on a day where spring is supposed to be here and it's not feeling like that at all.
Exactly, it doesn't feel like, but yeah,
Honestly,
should be here soon.
David, thank you so much for coming in, sharing your story with your wife and your kids, and happy National Macaron Day.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us here.
And if you want to be featured on our kitchen segment, Your Morning Ottawa at CTV.ca is the email. Send it in and let us know. One of us will reach out and potentially you could be featured right here on Your Morning Ottawa. There are continual glass sky cams. We have a special weather statement in effect. More snowfall on the way. Winter not done, even though it's only got about 2 hours left. Happy Friday, everybody. We'll wrap up the show with that beautiful art we've been showing you throughout the morning ahead.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
It is maple season right now, which means lots of spots to dabble in Canada's favorite sweet treat and everything that comes with it, including at the Log Farm on Cedarview Road, Fulton Sugarbush in Pakenham, and Stanley Sugarbush in Edwards. Enjoy pancake breakfast, tractor rides, petting zoos, and lots more with the family this weekend. Next on my list is the Ottawa Home and Garden Show, presented by RE/MAX. It runs all weekend long at the EY Centre. It's your one-stop spot for everything on your spring to-do list. Great chance to get help or advice or even inspiration for any home renovation or gardening projects you may have. Last up today is 613 Flea. This is Saturday from 10 to 4 at the Aberdeen Pavilion at Lansdowne. And as usual, features over 150 vendors with one-of-a-kind items. The best thing about this one is that the vendors rotate, so there is always something new to check out. Well-behaved dogs are welcome to browse with you, and admission is free. As usual, lots more happening around the capital this weekend. The full list and all the details at ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
All right, welcome back, everybody. At the start of our show, we were highlighting Vincent and his art that he was beginning to create. Now we're at the end of the show, and he's about to do the reveal. But just a reminder for our viewers, Vincent, local artist, tell me a little bit about what you do before we do the big reveal.
Yeah, so I'm Vincent. My artist name is V-Mate, and I really blend automotive culture and other niches and their communities and express them through the art. So we do events, showcases, all kinds of things with galleries and other people just to showcase art, create a community, and express ourselves.
And I love that. And too, when you looked at what it was like earlier too, just the bare bones of the vehicle, and then I knew that you were going to create some Ottawa culture around it. So let's do the big reveal and show us what you got.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. So you did this in just what, 3 hours?
3 hours in total. Yeah, nice live painting, custom piece for CTV. We have the Parliament in the back, where I find it really represents heritage, which is why I went with this vehicle. And yeah, we use the CTV colors throughout the piece, so it blends in and feels right at home.
Okay, so you knew coming into it. Obviously, CTV was going to be a part of it, and you wanted to use the Ottawa heritage. So how did you creatively come up with this from going, okay, this is how I want it to look, to this masterpiece?
Well, I started with the idea. The word was heritage. I'm like, okay, so we're going to put Parliament in there, something recognizable, so we know this is CTV Ottawa, and I grew up in Ottawa, and that's where I started my art. So we went with that theme, and then that led me to the vehicle, which is a very iconic heritage car, and the rest just flowed.
Okay, so from here, when people, especially our viewers, are now looking at this, especially if they've been following throughout the show, they've seen you from start to finish, how would they get a hold of you to maybe create something special for them? Because like you said, you're from Ottawa. What neighborhood you grew up in?
Barrhaven.
In Barrhaven, okay.
Yes.
So maybe there's a Barrhaven neighborhood. I'm from Nepean. Yeah. How would they get a hold of you to create something special like this?
You could just search up VMate, and you'll get a hold of me. You'll find me, and just send me a message. Contact, and I'd love to collaborate on anything, any art, events, etc.
Well, Vincent, I feel like you've really deserved this today. So it is National Macaron Day.
No way.
I know that we don't particularly have the CTV colors, but you choose as many as you want celebrating today, because you've been hard at work all morning. What are you going? We're going that way?
Much appreciated.
I think that's chocolate and bubble gum.
No way.
That's a good choice.
Nice. Homemade.
Homemade, just like that. Honestly, Vincent, thank you so much for joining us this morning, because this is a beautiful piece of art. We got the CTV colors going on. Oh, okay. There we go. Of course. Our camera operator, he's a little bit jealous of you. Appreciate you coming on this show and providing us with all of this. This is so amazing. Again, your details are up there. And thanks, and happy Friday, and have a great weekend, my friend.
Thanks, Will.
Cool.
There is something special in every area. Join us for your neighborhood as we spotlight the people and places that bring the National Capital Region to life.
Your neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Every year, an average of 500 children and youth are in cancer treatment at CHEO. Join CTV and Move 100 as we support oncology patients and their families at CHEO by participating in the CN Cycle for CHEO on Sunday, May 3rd. The routes start and finish at the Canadian War Museum with a 15, 35, 70K, CN Century Ride, 2 and 5K walk. Get active with a group of friends, family, or a team of colleagues. For more information, visit cncycle.ca.
Welcome back, everybody. A reminder, we are featuring different businesses in your neighborhood. If you know of a spot that Melissa, Rosie, or myself should go visit, email us yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. We'll be heading to different locations throughout the year. All right, we got to talk about it one more time, or if you're just joining us, we do have a special weather statement in effect for the Ottawa area. We are just about an hour and 38 minutes away from changing seasons, but winter still staying with us, 5 to 10 centimeters today. We do have a one-day break before that and a beautiful Saturday ahead. Plenty of sunshine to enjoy, climbing up to a nice above seasonal. Doesn't that word sound nice? Above seasonal, daytime high of 5. And then on Sunday, maybe a little bit more snowfall on the way. So be prepared for shoveling today and on Sunday. And then throughout next week, a little bit of cloud cover for you, but daytime high values will be what we typically see this time of year. Thanks for joining us throughout the week. And on this Friday show, Melissa and I will have everything you need to know from the weekend, of course, and continuing on Monday. Enjoy your weekend, friends, and the end of March break. We'll see you Monday.